right to left in period number 1 and period number 3. Jake Ottinger, Tomasz Romajko, your netminders, as Jakob Kondelik and Amante in the center circle. Your officials, Thomas Fryer and Kevin Keeman, Kyle Riccitelli and Nicholas Briganti, one of the 2 Briganti brothers. Your linesmen tonight. Puck drop controlled by the Huskies as Carl Elmire off the faceoff. Immediately into the zone on the right side, right circle. Rister goes high and wide. Roman Canal the keep in near side. Patrick Harper plays it behind the net for BU, and it's played out the center ice. We're skating back for it is Nyberg. Nyberg turns it over as Amante dumps it in, but the Terriers are offside, so now they'll have to tag up, and they're still offsides as the puck comes near side. First to get it is a Terrier, Amante, so the faceoff will come back out at neutral ice. Terriers again are 10-14-3, 8-7-2 in Hockey East 5th. UConn is 9-17-2 overall, just 4-12-2. They've won back-to-back games, 7 points out of a playoff spot, starting with 6 games to go. Face-off Cam Crotty that was Patrick Harper and Benjamin Freeman on the draw. UConn wins it. Miles Gendron on the ice for the first time. Plays it off, and here comes Freeman down the right side, rumbling against Shane Bowers. Now Crotty behind the net. That's Cameron Crotty for the Terriers. Plays it up to Patrick Curry, who gives it to Bowers, the terrific sophomore. One touch by Joel Farabee. And the puck played to the far side wall in the UConn end, where Freeman outfights Farabee for the loose puck. Then Farabee gets the last touch, leaves it for Bowers. He's poke-checked away, and Gendron plays it off the boards to Newpower. That's Wyatt Newpower for Brian Regali. A lot of the action at neutral ice as Bowers knocks down Newpower, and then Newpower just one-hands it down the ice. They wave off the icing, so everybody changes a minute 10 in. Terriers behind their own net, play it to the near side wall. Johnny Evans the pinch in. Ruslan Azakov top the slot, hangs onto the puck with a great toe drag, throws it out in front. Evans tried to center it to Coulter, but it rolled off his stick. Now the puck behind the net. Coulter trying to center out in front. Wedged off the puck to the near side wall. Evans first to get it. He's poke-checked away, and here come the Terriers, but the Huskies defense, led by Ryan Wheeler, plays at the center ice rink-wide feed, where Chad Chris, the Ridgefield native, plays it rink-wide to Fabro, the captain of the Terriers. Now here's Chris out of his own zone, hits it center, plays it deep off Bomajka, who steers it to the Zamboni boards. Ryan Wheeler staples his man to the boards. The puck comes behind the UConn net, and the first to get it is Max Coulter of the Huskies. Leaves it for Adam Karashek, plays it back to Coulter behind the UConn cage, outlets to Wheeler up the left side. Plays it down the middle, intended for Carter Turnbull. Got by him, Gabriel Shabbat plays it in front of the penalty box boards, turns it over, and here's a turnover for Turnbull down the right side. Walks in, shot goes high, tried to go upper corner, glove side high, and he missed the net. Now Turnbull gets it back, face-off dot, Rister, Ottinger had it deflect out in front, goes up into the netting. 17:42 to go here in this first as UConn Hockey, brought to you by UConn Health, the official healthcare partner of the UConn Huskies.
Cale Howard, 6'4", 205. He was setting the screen out in front, and that was really what froze Ottinger, who never felt that most recent chance whiz past him and ultimately go up into the netting.
Faceoff will come to the right of Ottinger, the stick side. Kondelik on the faceoff for the Huskies. He's got Elmire and Payusov with him. Tayamonte, Tony's kid, wins the faceoff back to David Ferentz. Ferentz plays it up the boards, far sides, and here come the Terriers on a quick rush up the ice over the line. Centering pass in front, deflected, missed everybody. Comes near side, and here comes UConn on a counter. Kondelik down the left side. 3-on-2. Kondelik centers off the outside of the goal post on the left side. Comes back to the point to Canal. Top of the slot, knocked away off Elmire's stick and played out the center ice, where Nyberg's in a battle with Logan Cockrell. Now we get a whistle, and it's going to be offsides on the Terriers. As Jakob Kondelik, actually a penalty on the Terriers, and it's going to be against Cockrell. So UConn goes on the power play against a stingy BU penalty kill that's killed off 30 of their last 31.
He done such a good job, Nyberg, there at shielding off Cockrell, and that is what drew the penalty. It forced the penalty. Really outstanding work by Nyberg. We highlighted him early and already paying dividends.
2:46 in. UConn 10th in Hockey East at 14.8% on the power play. Here's Freeman. Plays it off the backboards to Karashek at the right point. Skates to the top of the slot. Now Freeman right circle. waits, holds, fans on it, plays it down low for Izakov, tries to go give and go with Freeman, but goes right back to Izakov. Izakov to Freeman between the circles. He's triple teamed, and the Terriers can't clear. Top the slot, Newpower plays it to open ice to Johnny Evans. Evans holds to the right point. Now skates between the circles, gives it to Newpower. Back up top to Evans, waits, holds, gives it off to Freeman. Winds, gives it to Izakov. Goal line extended, back to Freeman in the slot. Rister, that goes wide. Newpower the pinch in. Coulter rings it around the boards, far side, right side, top of the circle to Izakov. Walks in face-off down to Rister, that goes high and wide. Plays back to Newpower at the left point. Rink wide feed for Johnny Evans. Evans holds, back to Newpower. One-timer, that gets blocked out in front by Cam Karate. Newpower gets it back, gives it to Izakov, top of the right circle. Rink wide feed for Newpower, plays it off the boards, circles the wagons, back to Izakov, top of the right circle. Skates in, now between the circles, high slot to Evans. He skates right, holds, outside the face-off dot between the hash marks, back up top to Izakov. Waits, holds, gives to Evans. Evans walks in. Now Freeman goal line extended. Cross ice, Newpower. Waits, wrister, pad save by Ottinger. Newpower gets it back, backhands it behind the net, open ice, and the first to get it will be Dante Fabro, but he turns it right over to Evans, who looks the centering pass out in front, and it's swept away by the Terriers. 28 seconds to go on the man advantage. That's UConn's best pressure we've seen on a power play in a while, Adam.
90 seconds of sustained offensive zone pressure.
Here's Jenner to Kondolik up the left side. Rumbles into the BU zone, gets double-teamed, loses the puck, but it gets tipped by Pyasov back to Gendron. Rink-wide feed for Nyberg at the right point. Top the slot, Gendron. Now he one-times it over to Pyasov. Back to the left point, Gendron. Rink-wide feed, one touch back to the point right side, but Nyberg wasn't there, and he almost turned it over, played it off the boards wisely, and he leaves it for his teammate, Kondolik. Kondolik back into the BU zone. Rister, that gets blocked between the circles and cleared out the center ice by BU. So that's now 31 of the last 32 man advantages the Terriers have killed off, but UConn with terrific pressure as we stay scoreless 5 minutes in. Here's Miles Jenner in his own zone, skates up the left side, throws a blue line to blue line for Pyasov, gets by him, trickles it on net, and Jake Ottinger closes with Pyasov rumbling right on top of him. He holds with 14:47 to go in this opening period. Goose eggs on the board so far.
It really shows how much BU struggled at the beginning of the year on the penalty kill. If they're 7th in Hockey East after now 31 of their last 32, that penalty kill percentage is still not where they'd love it to be after such a great run.
Face-off again, stick side of Ottinger. This face-off won by the Terriers. Logan Cockrell comes out of the penalty box, plays it to blue line as the Terriers try to get a rush going, but the Huskies meet him at the blue line. Now it's Carter Turnbull one-hands it in, as first to get it is Mark Gatcombe for the Huskies. Near corner, goes in with Turnbull. Turnbull comes up with the puck as he plays it off the boards. Now it's picked up by freshman Max Willman of the Terriers, plays it behind their own net, and outlets to Matt Corsia. Now the play at center ice, the BU line, backhand shoulder save by Vomajka, as Ryan Clunin went left to right, went with a backhand, and Vomajka with a nice shoulder save got stuck up in his jersey, and he holds for the faceoff. Good early test for Tomaj there, and a nice crisscross rush up the ice by Ryan Clunin of the Terriers.
And Willman was there on the doorstep, so much so that the grad transfer from Brown had his stick caught in the equipment of Vomajka, and UConn didn't necessarily love that, but an early test for Tomaj, and that was one where not only did he have to make a hard save, but not allowing the rebound was the biggest part.
Face off to the left of Vomajka. Amante on the face-off with Freeman, won by UConn, whose face-off percentage has gone way up over the last few weeks. Zach Robbins' first shift. He had his first goal in a long time, over a year on Saturday. Back to the point to Roman Canal, rink-wide feed to Nyberg, back to Canal, keeps it in left point, restricted traffic, deflected just wide, and Ottinger plays it to open ice, but it's kept in by Canal and turned over by Regali as he turns and sweeps it back behind the BU zone, the BU net. We're scoreless. Outlet passes, the Huskies make a change. Terriers on the attack, down the left wing, stop and go Cockrell. His wrister goes wide through everyone to the slot, and the Huskies wedge it to the blue line, not out, but Gendron covers up and skates out the center ice and leaves it for the speedy Izakov. Down the right side, cuts to the outside, now goes behind the BU net. Oh, he gets ridden off, and that'll be a penalty on the Terriers as Amante goes for a shot to the neck area, cleans him out. It's going to be a holding penalty against Amante, so the Huskies back on the power play, but Adam, the speed of Ruslan Izakov again affecting the opposition.
That was a great job of not going after Amante after the whistle by Izakov, because That's a holding in hockey. It's a horse collar in football. It was a pretty vicious rip down. And maybe nothing malicious, but just the way that, like you said, with all that speed, Amante was just getting flat out beaten on a hesitation move, so that was his only recourse.
6:35 time of the penalty. Huskies on the face-off. One for Elmire. Back to the point left side to Gendron. He and Nyberg play catch. Gendron skates top of the slot. Now leaves it over for Kondelik. His wrister gets blocked. Elmire up with it. Now Kondelik grabs it for the Huskies. Outside the right face-off dot. Gives to Elmire. Back to the right point to Miles Gendron. Gives it off to Kondelik. He skates to the right point. Now towards the top of the slot. One-timer rink wide to Nyberg. That got blocked out in front. Elmire up with a loose puck. Or Gendron. Back to Nyberg. Deflected in! Elmire at the top of the crease. Gives the Huskies the 1-0 lead. And Adam, the Huskies have been dominant on the power play with puck possession. 12:54 to go in the first. The home team on the board.
If you're Boston University, you need to not take penalties anymore. That has to be a wake-up call that you can't put yourself in the box, because UConn's power play is absolutely looking sharp early on. And Carl Elmire, right place, right time, just camp out and let your teammate put it on your tape. That's exactly what happened. And that puck may have trickled home at about 7 miles an hour when it finally crossed the goal line, but it had enough muster to get past Ottinger.
7th power play goal of the year for Elmire, his 14th of the year. Huskies on the power play, lead 1-0. Here's Gatcombe, near side for UConn, off the face-off. As BU dumped it in, played in front of the UConn bench, and we get another penalty coming up here against BU. This time it's going to be Matt Corsia who gets called for the penalty, and UConn right back to the power play. Actually, it's going to be Willman that gets called for the penalty, but there was a knockdown right in front of the UConn bench, and the Huskies with all sorts of momentum here, Adam, trying to capitalize on these just silly mistakes by BU.
Yeah, you can't have that. That is absolutely giving UConn an opportunity with the momentum. You can hear in the arena they haven't even announced the previous goal by the time you're putting UConn back on another power play. And officially, it's Elmire from Nyberg and Gendron, the goal for UConn.
So the Huskies right back on the man advantage. Coulter loses the face-off. Cockrell, though, couldn't clear it out. Good work by Evans. Plays it down low to Azakov. To Coulter at the right face-off. That fans on his pass. Amante comes up with it for BU, and they're dangerous. They've scored 8 shorthanded goals this season. Amante, though, plays it deep, and the Terriers will change up. Wyatt Newpower behind his own net. Winds it up and gives it to Ruslan Azakov. Down the left side. Cross the center. Plays it diagonally deep to the right side, where it's one swept down by Chad Chris, and he just rips it down the ice. Fomajka plays it with Farabee, putting all sorts of pressure on, along with Patrick Harper. Gives it to Newpower. He'll skate behind his own net. Huskies with a 1-0 lead on the Elmire deflection. Here's Azakov. Cross the center down the left side. Rips it around the BU net. Chris gives chase along with Kondelik. It's played back to the point. Johnny Evans the keeping. Gives it to Newpower. Newpower left point. Gives it down low to Turnbull. Now it's Newpower. Plays catch with Evans. Gives it to Kondelik. Kondelik, top of the right circle. Waits, holds, looks for a deflection. It was deflected by Azakov, but Ottinger closes the doors. Azakov tried to deflect it 5-hole, and Jake got the stick and the pads down to make the save for BU. Huskies with 6 shots on goal, Adam, to 2 for BU, but boy, they have looked really good on the power play.
Yeah, this is just another opportunity, a minute in and still 55 seconds or so remaining.
This is the 3rd straight game UConn's gotten the first goal. Face off to the left of Ottinger as Shane Bowers and Jakob Kondelik got a little tied up. Kondelik was asked to leave the face-off dot, so it'll be Elmire for UConn. Elmire ties his man up, Bowers. Payusov grabs it now. Elmire gives it back to Kondelik. All this on the short porch on the right side. Now it's Nyberg to Kondelik. Right face-off dot. Back up top. Nyberg fanned on his slap shot one-timer, and BU clears it down the ice. That time went off the heel of Nyberg's stick. And the Terriers able to clear. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage for UConn. Here's Kondelik. Rumbles down the left side for the Huskies. Stops outside the left face-off circle. Waits, holds back to Miles Gendron. Rink wide feed to Nyberg. Back up top to Gendron. Miles holds, gives it off to Payusov. Now back to Kondelik. Kondelik at the left point. Gives it to Gendron. Now off to Nyberg. Nyberg top of the right faceoff dot. Looks through traffic, and that booming pad saved by Ottinger on the wrister. And the Terriers, one shot and done. They rip it down the ice, and that'll do it for the UConn power play. Here's Jenner behind his own net. Skates out up the right side, crosses center, turns it over right at the scoring area. Now the Terriers come up with the puck as a centering pass offsides intended for the trailer, Cam Crotty. And the call is offsides. UConn Hockey brought to you by Moe's, where we invite you to download the Moe's app like Adam did and enter UConn 18 for your chance to win a year for free burritos. How many times have you entered so far?
Well, I think the limit's one per day, so I won't tell you how many burner accounts I made. But the answer is over 20.
Good.
Yeah.
Just checking. Shane Bowers wears number 15 for the Terriers, along with Freeman on the faceoff, which Ben won. Huskies control, deflect it. Regali deflects it into the BU zone. Terriers first to get it, though. David Ferentz wears number 4, plays it behind his own net. Leaves it off for Joel Farabee, who backhands it, but not out. Now on second effort, the Terriers get it out. As Curry plays into the line, broken up. The Huskies with good work at the blue line. Only one real good chance so far for the Terriers. Now the Terriers skate it out. Here it comes BU, the trailer. As Bowers, wrister tried to go short side over the stick side, and he missed the net. Quick 2-on-1 if the Huskies hurry. Here comes Regali. Down the left side with Howard. Stops on a dime. Wrister sticked away by Ottinger. Howarth gets the rebound, grabs it, left point, just circles the wagons and dumps it deep to allow a line change. Mark Gatcomb the first to get it for UConn. In the right corner, plays it behind the BU net. Carter Turnbull the first to get it. He's taken down, but he kind of slipped too, so good non-call there. It's a 4-man scrum for the puck. As Turnbull gets up, plays it to the half boards. Gatcomb the first to get it. Holds, tries to skate it deep himself. Lost the puck. Now it's grabbed by Ferentz. Plays it up the near side wall and out to center, but a big hit as New Power cleans the clock of Mark Cherametta. Terrific open ice hit, and that gets the fans off in a frenzy. Here's Howard. Outside the right circle. Turns, wrister deflected just wide. Not sure that went off a BU stick or not, but it was deflected. Past Ottinger, but wide. Here's Turnbull. Plays it to open ice. Nyberg off the blue line. Pinches it deep. He's in a battle with Jack DeBoer. Yes, his dad's the coach of the Sharks. Wrister by Canal. That goes over everybody off the backboards. And the Huskies make a change. 8:50 to go in a very good opening period for the Huskies. Now a turnover. Evans, near corner. Back to the point to Canal. Left side. Rink wide feed to Nyberg. Waits, holds, fires. On net. Ottinger smothers it, and he'll hold for a face-off. And will step aside. 10-2 the shots in favor of the Huskies. They've got the 1-0 lead on the Elmere power play goal. This is UConn Hockey, presented by Brown, Pendarris, and Scott from Learfield, IMG College.
It's impossible. You can't fly in a metal tube through the sky or put a rover on Mars. Fact is, everything's impossible until it isn't. At UConn Health, we believe in the power of possible. We've seen what it can do for patients, for medicine. Our job isn't just to make you better. Our job is to make medicine better and create the possibilities that others will use years from now. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
When it comes to the college basketball season, the only team that matters is the UConn Huskies.
Gives it to Samuelson. Open three. Got it!
With the Wells Fargo UConn Women's Basketball Debit Card, you can show your Husky pride with every purchase you make. Head to your local Wells Fargo and ask for your new UConn Women's Basketball Debit Card today.
Fakes on the three. Drives. Pulls up. Banks it in, and she's fouled by Turner.
Wells Fargo is the official retail bank partner of UConn Women's Basketball.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Pendarris, and Scott. With Brown, Pendarris, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
Bob Joyce, Adam Giardino from our Big Y broadcast location high atop the Excel Center. UConn 1, BU nothing. Shots are 10-2. Boy, I have not seen UConn play this well in a long time. They have dominated the Terriers so far.
Well, I'd love to agree with that, and yet it feels like the 8th straight period where they really have played extraordinarily well. This is just a groundswell for the Huskies over the last couple weeks.
Joel Farabee plays it out the center ice for the Terriers. Back to get it for UConn as Wyatt Newpower gives to Zach Robbins at his own line. Gives it to a streaking Regali. Trailer is Robbins. A slap shot right on Ottinger. The save steers it away. Jake Ottinger stopped 49 shots in that Beanpot semi that Northeastern won in overtime. Now Freeman plays it deep to allow a line change. Katzper Kotkinsalo of the Terriers. Plays it out of his own zone. Leaves it off for Shane Bowers. Huskies play it right back to the blue line and not out as Bowers sweeps it around the cage of the Huskies. As the Terriers play it deep, this is Patrick Curry. Near side wall with Bowers and Newpower. We got a stoppage in play. Where's the puck? May have been up in somebody. Yeah, it was up in somebody's jersey. That's why they called it. You can't see the puck, you blow the whistle.
49 saves and you lose in overtime. That's the baseball equivalent of going 7 innings of 1-run ball and losing 1-0.
They lost on a breakaway goal by Madden.
Yeah.
So this BU team, now we mentioned Jack DeBoer's dad is the coach of the San Jose Sharks. Bobo Carpenter was hurt. His dad is Bobby Carpenter, who was in the same draft as Ron Francis. You got Ty Amante, whose dad, Tony, coached him in high school. Face-off win. Here comes Pyasov down the right side. Centering pass off the stick of Ottinger. He broke it up back to the point. Overskated by Canal. Here comes BU on the counter. Logan Cockrell down the right side. Cuts to the middle. Wrister. That goes wide. First to get it at the blue line is Patrick Harper. He plays it behind the Husky net. No one there in red to get it. So the Huskies played up the boards. Not out. Amante to keep in. Now it's Connolly who plays it to open ice safely to Philip Nyberg. He outlets, and here come the Huskies. It's Pyasov who has the step. Down the right side. Cuts towards the middle. Now he has to cut on the outside as he was angled off by Ferentz. Back to the point. One-timer by Karashek right on. As Kondelik tried a doorstep deflection, but Ottinger shuts the door. Once again, Jake Ottinger was a gold medal winning goaltender on the U.S. World Junior team 2 years ago. This past season, it was Caden Primo, the Northeastern netminder. They settled for silver in Vancouver.
And I'm sure that didn't make the 49 save loss to Caden Primo feel any better this year.
That's right. So that dangerous line of Calter, Evans, and Izakov out there. Calter kicked out, but Evans wins the faceoff back to Karashek. Rink wide to Ryan Wheeler, left point, plays it off the backboards, reverberates out between the circles, but the Terriers able to play it out the center, and Wheeler gives to Karashek, and the Husky defenseman from Ridgefield plays it behind the Terrier net. Played out off a body as the backhanded clear off the boards went off of Evans and out of play as Chris backhanded it. And because it went off of Evans, the faceoff comes out to the neutral zone with 6:57 to go in this first period. Shots are 12-2 Connecticut. Wow.
And they can't rest on their laurels. BU is a very good team. They're going to counter. This isn't going to be 60 minutes of dominance. So UConn needs to be ready for that counter punch, but they certainly have to be satisfied with how the first 13 minutes have gone.
Freeman on the faceoff along with Bowers. They kick Bowers out of the faceoff dot. So Patrick Curry, who scored 2 goals in the first meeting in Hartford between these two teams a year ago, October, will take the faceoff with Freeman in front of the BU bench. Teams neutralize each other off the draw. Terriers play to the UConn zone, but Newpower right back out to center ice off a leg, so icing is waved off. First to get it is Consalo for the Terriers. Plays it near side, and the Terriers on the rush. Here's Bowers, gets it off to Farabee. Terrific freshman. Newpower the first to get it for UConn. Play behind the net. Centering pass for Farabee. Overskates it. Back to Cam Crotty at the right circle. Top of the slot. Curry wrister. That goes off a leg. That may have gone off Gendron's leg to the Zamboni boards. Now Farabee, who's very dangerous for the Terriers. Off the line to Chris. Slap shot blocked. Kept it at the top of the slot by Consalo. Wrister goes wide. Rebound. Farabee couldn't get a stick on it. Terriers with their best sustained pressure of the night. Consalo wrister. That never got into the net. And then we get a push and a penalty coming up against UConn as down goes Farabee. Whistle has not blown yet. Now Regali gets the touches. He gets sandwiched by 2 Terriers. Let's see if they even things up here, because one of those was a cheap shot to the back. Could easily be a charging penalty, but no. It'll be UConn goes shorthanded as Robbins to the box with 6:06 to go here in the first.
An inadvertent stick caught in the blade of a Terrier out near the blue line as that pressure was being applied and the offense was being sustained. So for Robbins, only his second penalty in 18 games this year. He's been very good at staying out of the box, but this is critical for the Terriers. They have a chance after being outshot and only having 2 shots to this point. They could even it up here.
Amante and Elmire on the faceoff. BU's power play, 4th in Hockey East at 18%. UConn has scored, well, officially 4 shorthanded goals. You can make a case for 5. We know that story. Here's the Terriers on the attack. Here's Fabro, the freshman. Wrister through traffic in on net. Save number 3 for Tomasz Romajka.
Oh, that was going to be about a foot or two wide of the net, but still a nice job picking up the puck, tying it up, and just resetting everything rather than having a loose puck bouncing around off the end boards.
Terriers have scored 19 power play goals. UConn's penalty kill 10th in Hockey East at just under 77%. Lamonte and Howarth on the face-off to the left of Tomasz Romajka. Face-off one for UConn. Elmire gains control, had it poke checked away by Chad Chris. Roman Canal backhanded off the boards and out to neutral ice. Played off the UConn, front of the UConn bench as Farabee leaves it for Fabro. Fabro rink wide for Chad Chris, very dangerous on the power play. Now Farabee off a backhand feed, finds a streaking Terrier, now deflected by Farabee around the rink wide feed as Fabro comes in off the blue line to keep it in. Puck gets by Farabee. Howard tries to wing it out, but Fabro keeps it in. Chris, rink wide feed, Farabee, centering pass in the slot. Wrister goes high by Amante, and then Howard gets hip checked. Up with it is Chris in the middle. Here's Farabee, a one-timer. Romajka had that shot head on her drive go high. Kept in by Fabro at the left point. Rink wide feed for Farabee, top of the right circle. Back to Dante Fabro, just right of the circles. Now Chris, one touch. Farabee up back top to Fabro. His wrister gets deflected. Now Amante in front. Back up top to Farabee between the circles. Walks in. That gets blocked down in front. There are 5 guys in front of the net. Now Fabro again top of the slot. Right side, one-timer. Farabee kicked away by Vomajka. Chad Chris at the left circle. Top of the slot, Fabro. Off to Farabee. Back to Fabro. Fakes in his one-timer. Walks in. Gives it off to Chris at the left circle. Off to Fabro. He fanned on his wrister, and it trickles behind the net. Cleared around the boards. 20 seconds on the man advantage for BU. This has been their best pressure of the game so far. Now it's Fabro between the circles. Gives it to Farabee. His shot blocked away by Karashik and cleared down the ice. Huskies doing a terrific job gumming up the top of the slot and not allowing BU to get any good looks.
Yeah, that was critical by Karashik to alleviate all that pressure.
3 seconds on the man advantage. Terriers at center ice. Max Woolman lost an edge, turned it over, and here come the Huskies on the counter. As the penalty time is up, Izakov saw his man was offside, so he skates it back to Newpower, gives it back to Izakov, who dumps it down off the stick of Ottinger and off the post.
Wow.
Back to the point, kept in by Newpower. Wrister, that gets blocked. Look out, here come the Terriers. Here comes Cockrell. Down the left side, off against Gendron. Wrister! Vomajka makes the save as he holds the post. As the puck trickles near side off the bounce, and now up with it is Willman, who gets hit by Izakov, who falls. Back to the right point, kept in. Izakov tries to poke check it away. Newpower does as he gets stapled to the boards, and then on the outlet pass, Freeman covers up nicely. Regali crossed the center. No, he didn't, but Ottinger played it, so the icing is waved off. 3:20 to go here in this first period. UConn with a 1-0 lead. Circling in his own zone is David Ferentz. Gives it to Cam Crotty. Crotty crosses center. Up the right side. He gets deflected up into the crowd and out of play. As the time now 3:11 to go in the period. Crotty is out of Ontario. Played for Brockville of the CCHL. Ferentz out of Victoria, New York. Played on the US U18 team. A lot of Terriers coming out of that US U18 team, including the heralded freshman Joel Farabee, first-round pick or third-round pick. No, I was right. First-round pick of the Flyers this past summer.
Chad Chris, Jake Weiss, you've got Jack DeBoer, ton of guys.
Bless you, my son.
Thank you.
That's it.
Somebody said bless you. You probably heard that on the effects. Huskies dump it down deep. Shane Switzer, the extra defenseman for the Terriers, tries to clear, not out, kept in by Payusov. Now Connolly looked to center for Elmire, deflected back to the blue line. Canal couldn't keep it in. Now he sweeps it in, but the Huskies are offside, so Switzer will play it back. And blue line to blue line feed as DeBoer has it broken up, so he has to retreat. Now Chad Chris, who comes back out with Fabro back in his zone end, eludes the skating forecheck of Johnny Evans. Keeps it, looks for an outlet pass, and gets it off to Mark Cherametta. Cherametta skating out of his own zone with 2:25 to go in the period. Gets by Evans, bobbled it, plays it off the boards, but right to Newpower, who bunts it to Coulter. Fans on the clear in, gets a second chance. Now here comes Evans with Izakov. Gives to Izakov. Izakov eludes, back to the point. Newpower has room. Wrister score! Wyatt Newpower with a wrister over the glove side of Ottinger. Thanks to the good work of Coulter, Evans, and Izakov, and with 2:09 to go in the first, the Huskies double the lead to 2-0.
Newpower had the big-time goal against Boston College to get that momentum going in the third period. It was a one-time blast. That was a real impressive display of a wrist shot. Caught Ottinger unawares and just tickled the twine behind him.
Comes with 2:09 to go in the period, so that would be 17:51 for New Power. His third should be Zakov and Evans on the assist, but Coulter, if you gave a tertiary assist, that would be the third because they did all the hard work right in front of the penalty box area. Now Farabee retreats for BU into the UConn zone. Puck near side wall, top the slot. Walking in is the Terriers, is walking in. Shot on net, rebound, couldn't pounce on it. Puck is loose. Freeman up with it for UConn behind his own net. Farabee puts on the forecheck, but Freeman wisely just flips it out to center ice as Robbins was offsides off the flip, so he retreats off the change. And here come the Terriers trying to counter. Patrick Harper back to the left point, broken up. Canal the loose puck, plays to open ice to Mark Gatcomb. Crosses center, dumps it deep with a minute 15 to go in the period. Gonzalo rips it around the boards, past Curry. Kept in by Karashek. Slap shot. That goes high and wide again. They went to the glove side of Ottinger. Now the Terriers try to counter as Bauer's ridden off the puck by Karashek. Karashek goes to the Zamboni boards with a minute to go. Leaves it for Roman Canal. Canal plays it to the blue line to Gatcomb, who plays it to the center ice to Big Kel Howard. Cross the center. Has a man. Turnbull a wrister right on. Ottinger the save. Adam, considering who they're playing, this is as complete a period, start to finish, as I've seen the Huskies play in a long time.
Power plays, penalty kills, an even strength goal, peppering Ottinger with shots. Yeah, top to bottom, it's a big old check mark for Mike Cavanaugh and his crew.
I wonder what the captain of the Huskies said tonight. Such a positive young man, Miles Gendron. He challenged them to get the first goal Saturday against Merrimack.
Took 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What took him so long?
I know, exactly. Face-off won by UConn, kept in by Nyberg. Here's a wrister by Gendron, blocked out in front. Back to the point. Gendron keeps it in, gives it. Nope, it wasn't kept in. That was awfully close to being offsides. The far side linesman right there, Johnny on the spot to call it offside. So the face-off comes back out to neutral ice with 39.4 seconds to go. 13-5, the shots on goal. Our broadcast booth this season brought to you by Big Y World Class Markets, where it's no big surprise. It's my Big Y. The surprise is 2-0 UConn. They have been dominant in this one. Cam Crotty out of his own zone. Deflected in by Logan Cockrell behind the UConn net. New Power the first to get it. Swings it around the boards to Turnbull. Gives to Connolly. Plays it out to center ice with 23 seconds to go. And back to get it is Chris of the Terriers. Now it's Cam Crotty. Comes up the right side in front of the UConn bench. Tries to play it deep, but it went right to Miles Gendron. He goes to the center ice area where Connolly gets checked right in front of the bench area. Crotty plays at the center. New Power wings it right back in with 4 seconds to go in the period. And that'll do it. And listen to the crowd here at the XL Center as the period comes to an end. Big applause for the UConn Huskies. They outshoot BU unofficially 13-5 in the opening 20 minutes. And they lead the Terriers on goals by Carl Elmire and Wyatt Newpower, 2-0. Adam Giardino, Drew Casey with the intermission report. Coming up next from Hartford, you're listening to UConn Hockey, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott from Learfield, IMG College.
Big Y World Class Market is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of UConn men's hockey. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, stop by your local Big Y for it all. Check out the Wing Bar for fresh, ready-to-eat wings in all your favorite flavors. Or grab a Super Bird rotisserie chicken, the biggest rotisserie chicken in the universe. Grinders, party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. It all begins with a stop at your local Big Y World Class Market.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Debt. If you get in too deep, members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. A certified credit counselor helped me get back in control.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. NFCC taught me all I needed to know.
Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. We'll help you put debt in its place. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
While the teams rest in the locker room, we keep working. Welcome to the Intermission Report. Coming up, we'll recap the last 20 minutes and get you caught up with scores from around the country. The Intermission Report begins now.
Back inside the XL Center in Hartford. Yeah, we do keep on working. First period intermission, Adam Giardino with you. We've got Drew Casey back in the studio. He's got the out-of-town scoreboard update as we continue on. But first things first, let's recap what happened in the first 20 minutes of this one, and it was all Huskies. They had great opportunities early on against the Terriers, ultimately growing a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes, and it started with a Logan Cockrell holding penalty 2.5 minutes into the first period. UConn established the power play dominance, and though they didn't capitalize, it would prove to have paved the groundwork. 4 minutes later, when Ty Amante had a holding call at the 6:35 mark. And from there, it didn't take all that long at all. Some 31 seconds later, UConn cashed in for a 1-0 lead.
Gives it off to Kondelik. He skates to the right point. Now towards the top of the slot. One-timer rink wide to Nyberg. That got blocked out in front. To Elmire. Up with a loose puck. Or Gendron. Back to Nyberg. Deflected in! Elmire at the top of the crease. Gives the Huskies the 1-0 lead.
So Carl Elmire with his 13th of the year. Philip Nyberg, Miles Gendron officially the assist for Nyberg. It's only his third assist, his first point in the last 14 games. Miles Gendron, his first assist in the last 15 games. So for a couple of guys helping pitch in on the Elmire goal that haven't contributed, at least in the score sheet, in quite a while. BU went on the power play, BU went on the penalty kill again, with Max Willman going into the penalty box, and then BU went on the power play. Zach Robbins with an interference penalty, but nothing came of either of those penalties. So then UConn decided the waning couple minutes of the first period that they would double their lead. It was even strength, and Wyatt Newpower stepped up.
Gets a second chance. Now here comes Evans with Izakov. Gives to Izakov. Izakov eludes. Back to the point. Newpower has room. Wrister score! Wyatt Newpower with a wrister over the glove side of Ottinger. Thanks to the good work of Coulter, Evans, and Izakov, and with 2:09 to go in the first, the Huskies double the lead to 2-0.
Izakov and Evans, exactly right, Bob. Izakov, his 11th assist of the season. Johnny Evans with his 7th, and that was goal number 3 for Wyatt Newpower. It made it 2-0 UConn.
You doubted me?
I do occasionally, but I thought you were in the bathroom. I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have congratulated you if I knew you were listening. So 2-0 UConn with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go, and that's where we stand. 2-0 UConn with a lead. We've got Drew Casey back in the studio. He's got our out-of-town scoreboard update. You're listening to UConn men's ice hockey action from Learfield IMG College.
You can see a doctor who specializes in the status quo, or you can see a doctor who's creating the medicine of tomorrow. You can have a surgeon who performs minimally invasive procedures, or you can have the surgeon they learned the technique from in the first place. Academic medicine is different, and many of the top specialists who teach the latest healthcare to the rest of Connecticut all work in one place, UConn Health. Make an appointment today. Call 1-84-GET-UConn.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
If there's one thing Connecticut knows, it's college basketball. Over the last 25 years, UConn men's and women's basketball have won a combined 15 national championships. People of Connecticut know UConn basketball, and UConn basketball knows winning. UConn basketball single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $12 at UConnTickets.com. Basketball, it's a Connecticut thing.
Continue our intermission report. 20 minutes in the books at the Excel Center. UConn with a 2-0 lead on BU after one period of play. Huskies with an impressive first period. The power play goal from Carl Elmire and Wyatt Newpower adding to the lead, as you just heard the highlights a moment ago. Drew Casey with you inside the network studios. Take a look at the scoreboard on this Friday. First across the rest of Hockey East, and then we'll take a look at the extensive UConn scoreboard. First day of UConn baseball and plenty of spring sports in action as well. But first in Hockey East, 4 other games in the league tonight. Everything currently underway as we start with the second-ranked team in the country. That's UMass. The Minutemen at home hosting Boston College, the first of a home-and-home this weekend. And the Eagles striking first on the road.
Face-off win for the Eagles, but the shot from the point is blocked off the bid from Fitzgerald. Brown got swung around with Ferraro. Dishes it right, Fitzgerald. Circle shot, he scores! Casey Fitzgerald picks up his first goal of his senior season with a right circle shot, and it's 1-0 Boston College.
John Rich from Learfield IMG College with the call as Casey Fitzgerald put BC up 1-0. That was early in the first period. The teams would exchange goals. Following that, later in the period, 2-1 BC the lead through one period of play. Elsewhere, 10th-ranked UMass Lowell hosting number 13 Providence. The Riverhawks currently second in Hockey East, just 1 point behind front-running UMass. The Friars, though, swept the Riverhawks in 2 meetings last season and looking good again so far tonight. 2-0 Providence, the score after 1. Other games, 14th-ranked Northeastern and Vermont are scoreless after 1. And rounding out the league action tonight, Merrimack hosting Maine for a pair this weekend. UConn, the Huskies are 7 points out of a playoff position with 6 games to play, and they're chasing Maine, who currently occupies that 8th spot. So far, good news, Merrimack has the 1-0 lead through 20 minutes of play. Now over on the UConn scoreboard, incredibly busy Friday with many spring sports underway, and UConn baseball, the college baseball season gets underway just hours ago today. The Huskies, 20th ranked team in the country to start the season. They open with a 3-game set with 4th ranked Louisville and Lakeland, Florida currently in play. And moments ago, the Huskies taking their first lead of the season. 2-1, they lead the 4th ranked Cardinals in the top half of the 6th inning. Looking for more with the runner on second and 2 outs. Keep you posted moving forward as the Huskies on the baseball diamond again lead 2-1, top 6 in their season opener. Elsewhere, UConn softball, they got going last weekend. They fall in a pair today, 3-3 now on the young season. Losses in South Carolina today to 7-3 to Boston University and 3-2 to South Carolina upstate. Other action, women's ice hockey blown out by Merrimack 7-1, and men's tennis came up short 4-0 to ECU. Clearly plenty of UConn action today, and the Ice Bus is looking to end the night on a high note. We're through one period of play as UConn leads BU by a score of 2-0. Stats are next with Adam, then the second period after these words. Presented by Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott, this is UConn Hockey from Learfield IMG College.
Big Y World Class Market is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of UConn men's hockey. Whether it's a meal for 2 or setting up a feast for the whole team, stop by your local Big Y for it all. Check out the Wing Bar for fresh, ready-to-eat wings and all your favorite flavors. Or grab a Super Bird rotisserie chicken, the biggest rotisserie chicken in the universe. Grinders, party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. It all begins with a stop at your local Big Y World Class Market.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play?
My reason why is friendship.
Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the high schools in your community.
Two 2-0 UConn with a lead over the BU Terriers. UConn starting a home-and-home weekend against BU, certainly on the right foot, but these two have they got 5 more periods head-to-head over the next 24 hours or so. So plenty of work still to do for the Huskies, and you can't sleep on the Terriers, who have been outshot officially 13-5 in the first period. So that means for UConn, they've just really done a great job of peppering Ottinger. UConn offensively, it's really been hard to argue with. No matter who's had the puck on their stick, they've spread the wealth. Wyatt Newpower with a goal. He has 2 shots as well for Philip Nyberg. The other 9 shots scattered among 9 different skaters. Tomasz Womajka between the pipes, a perfect 5 for 5 on saves. And Jake Ottinger, not his best period, 11 out of 13 in saves. And again, UConn, one of those goals, a power play goal, so 1 for 3 on the man advantage. BU did not capitalize on their man advantage. And UConn even winning the face-off battles, having won 13 of 21 face-offs, almost 2/3 of the battles. Ben Freeman, Jakob Kondolik each went 4 for 6 on the face-off draw in that first period. Well, it's a big crowd. It's a fun crowd. And when you're up 2-0, everything seems to be rolling your way. We've got second period action and the Golden Pipes of Bob Joyce coming your way next. This is Adam Giardino, and you've been listening to First Period Intermission Report. UConn men's ice hockey from Learfield IMG College.
Listen up, Huskies fans. This year, MGM Springfield is going to be your go-to destination for all your post-game celebrations. It's the latest destination from MGM Resorts International, the world's leading hospitality and entertainment company. At MGM Resorts' 27 global destinations, you'll find experiences that exist nowhere else. Celebrity chef dining, electrifying nightlife, world-class accommodations, and so much more. Get ready to experience excitement the MGM way in Springfield, Massachusetts. New traditions start now.
You can see a doctor who specializes in the status quo, or you can see a doctor who's creating the medicine of tomorrow. You can have a surgeon who performs minimally invasive procedures, or you can have the surgeon they learned the technique from in the first place. Academic medicine is different, and many of the top specialists who teach the latest healthcare to the rest of Connecticut all work in one place, UConn Health. Make an appointment today. Call 1-84-GET-UConn.
Did you know you can support UConn Athletics and earn cash back every time your business accepts a debit or credit card payment? That's right. Impact by Ironwood offers the best debit and credit card payments processing tools around, and they'll donate a portion of their profits to UConn Athletics in your name. The best part is you don't have to spend an extra dime to earn exclusive member benefits and support your Huskies. For more information, call 1-833-GO-TEAMS or go to www.impacthuskies.com. Make a difference. Make an impact.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Penderis & Scott. With Brown, Penderis & Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
Second period after 10 seconds for station identification. This is UConn Hockey presented by Brown, Penderis & Scott from Learfield IMG College. Bob Joyce, Adam Giardino, XL Center. Second period about to begin. Huskies with a 2-0 lead. This period they will go from left to right. BU on the face-off wins it as Cam Crowdy Crosses the blue line with a wrister in on net. Tomasz Romajka the save. And Adam, it's been a long time since Tomasz Romajka has given up a goal.
It's been over 4 periods, and we keep going back to that third period against BC where UConn was down. They came back. They nearly tied it. What was a momentous period. So for Romajka, his last 8 periods, he saved 71 of 73 shots. Bob, is a .973 save percentage good?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It is. The last goal he gave up was the early third against Northeastern. Terriers on the face-off win. Ferentz at the left point. Plays it off the backboards. Wrister, loose puck. Uh-oh. Goaltender Romajka lost his stick. He's down. He's buried in his own net. Trying to get out as his stick is over in the near corner. Terriers control Wrister. Romajka with a defenseman stick from, looks like Kondolik. Makes the save. Puck comes to the near side. Ferentz holds. Rink-wide feed. Leaves it for Fabro. Skates it at the right circle. Now it's top of the slot. Ferentz holds. Waits. Wrister deflected up into the netting. Good work by the UConn defense. Deflecting it off his skates was, I believe, was that Payusov that made the play?
I think so.
Went down and skate blocked it. But Romajka lost his stick, and it looked like for a minute out, the way he was in his own net, and we're getting a replay of it, I thought he got hurt originally, as Newpower was pushed by Curry, and then Curry runs over Romajka, hit him right in the face, knocked his stick out, and that's why I thought Romajka originally was hurt. But he looks to be okay. The mask is back on, has the stick, and he's ready to go.
Those goaltenders, they're flexible, all right. He bent over backwards.
Yeah, he sure did. Face-off won by BU. Kotkaniemi, Wrister. That goes wide. Zach Robbins the first to get it for UConn. Plays it to Roman Canal, but not out. Kept in. Wrister. Oh, nice stick save by Romajka. Now behind the net. It's Patrick Harper. Skates. Dumps it behind the net. Freeman and Amante battle. Now it's Cockrell. At the right circle. Spins. Stapled to the boards by Nyberg. Robbins keeps it alive. Harper then bunts it behind the net. And we're going to get a penalty here, and it's going to be against, I think, BU for a hold? Let's find out. Or it could be a high stick. Nope, BU's going back to the penalty box. As a Husky was taken out. Oh, we may have coincidental minors here. No, it's going to be against UConn.
This is really perplexing. Philip Nyberg, I don't know if he's going to get embellishment, but Nyberg hit the back of his head on the ice and stayed down for a second, holding his helmet, to the point where I thought he might need to come off the ice. It didn't seem to be much embellishment there.
So 1:10 into the period, BU has picked up the intensity. They win the face-off on the power play.
2 minutes for holding time of the penalty.
It was a holding penalty before he hit the ice. Now Wrister throwing out in front to Amante. Here's Chris off the line. Banger. That goes wide. Now it's Bowers to Chris. Chris between the circles. Wrister missed the net. Hoping to get it is Kotkaniemi. Back to Chris. His Wrister through traffic. That goes wide. Farabee plays it back to Chris. Chris keeps it at the point. Gives to Farabee. Top the slot to Chris. Cross ice feed on the left to Fabro. Dante Fabro skates between the circles. Wrister, that goes off a skate in front, and the Huskies are able to clear it down the ice. Again, good work by the up-front penalty killers. That time it was Coulter that blocked the initial shot from the top of the slot. 2 minutes in to period number 2. UConn leads BU 2-0. Here's Shane Bowers up the left side into the UConn zone with speed. Tries to elude Karashik, who takes the puck away. Canal gets a stick on it. Now it's Zakov, and here he comes down the left side. 2-on-1 with Regelli. Puts on the brakes. Wrister, that gets blocked. He was trying to do what he did at Army. BU would have nothing of it. As Diamante controls for the Terriers, who will wait for fresh troops. As here come the Terriers on the man advantage. Freeman with a check. Tries to knock the puck away from Ferentz. Here comes Ferentz. David Ferentz up the right side. Plays it to his backhand. Goes diagonally into the near corner. First to get it's Karashik, but he fanned on his slap clear. So it's a 5-player scrum for the puck in the near corner. They battle. Canal gets a stick on it. So does Karashik. He's in there battling with Mark Cherametta. Puck comes loose. First to get it's Elmire. Kicks it to his stick. Skates it out. And he plays it out to center ice. Plays it off the boards. Now it's a foot race with Harper. Here's Elmire. Puts on the brakes. Goes to his backhand, but too many Terriers there. But great work by Carl Elmire. call him a foot soldier. Great work, and the Huskies have killed off the power play of BU.
Sapping off the last 10 seconds because of the individual effort by Elmire.
Ferentz gives it off to his teammates. Cherametta spins, plays it to the line. Here come the Huskies on the counter. Cale Howarth down the right side, rumbling towards net. Backhander through the crease. No one there for the Huskies, and the first to get it is Patrick Curry. But they couldn't clear the Terriers. Huskies on the forecheck. Gatcombe forechecking. As Cam Crotty behind his own net. UConn not a shot on goal yet. The Terriers already with 3. Here's Crotty. Comes up the right side. His pass behind Matt Corsia. Puck at center ice. Corsia has it knocked away by Wheeler. Now it's backhanded by Max Willman deep. First to get it for the Huskies will be Adam Karashek. Leaves it for Carter Turnbull on the outlet pass. He leaves it for Cale Howarth. Howarth goes right to left. Gives to Gatcombe. Backhander. Patted away. Rebound. Loose puck in front. Willman gets it for BU. Here's Max Willman down the right side. Plays it off the boards deep as Canal goes after it, along with Matt Corsia. Corsia rides Canal off the puck, but the Huskies control and skate it out to center ice. Max Coulter to his backhand, crosses center, plays it deep, goes after it. He's the first to get it as Hugo Blixt rubs him off the play. Now the puck comes loose to the Zamboni boards, kept in by the Huskies. Evans battles behind the BU net. He'll give chase to the half boards, but up with it first is Corsia. Now Blixt off his backhand clears, and then the Terriers rip it down the ice on a line change. 15-15 to go in the second. UConn a 2-0 lead as Coulter controls at center. Now gives it up to Izakov. Down the left side, wrister, shoulder save by Ottinger. Izakov gets the rebound, skates behind the BU net. Does some fancy dance stick work. Keeps the puck alive, but the Terriers break it up as Fabro would have nothing of that fancy work by Izakov. The Huskies rip it right back in and change on the go. Casper Cotconcello out of his own zone, goes right to left. His pass for Curry gets by him. It'll be icing against the Terriers. UConn Hockey brought to you by UConn Health, official healthcare partner of the UConn Huskies. We've got 14:50 to go in period number 2. Huskies 2, Terriers 0.
Well, BU has had an opportunity with an early power play. They've had a couple of chances on goal with some shots, but so far, UConn not flinching.
Kondelik and Bowers on the face-off to the left of Jake Ottinger. Kondelik wins the face-off, leaves it for Sasha Pyasov, who gets written off the puck by Cotconcello. Now Fabro plays it out to center ice to Captain Miles Gendron. Bowers up with the puck for BU. Skates down the right side along the boards. Gendron stays with him. Trailers Fabro. One-timer. That goes wide. The stick side of Tomasz Romadska. And Jakob Kondelik plays it out to center ice. Up with a loose puck is Pyasov. Eludes a couple of checkers by the Terriers. Now Elmire grabs it. Lost it. Puck at center ice. Grabbed by the Terriers. Stolen right back. Here comes Pyasov. Took it away from Farabee. Here's the trailer. Kondelik just bunts it deep. No one had a chance to score, and then the Terriers will just ice the puck down, clear it down the ice, and icing will be called. Good crisscross work by the Elmire Pyasov Kondelik line that time to get the puck in the zone, but nothing to show for it as Kondelik was being harassed when he tipped it deep, and then the Terriers iced the puck.
For the Huskies, they're looking to get their sea legs back underneath them. You mentioned that one good shift there by the Elmire line, and now here's Mark Gatcombe, Howarth. Let's see if Jordan Timmons can get something going.
Howarth taken out of the face-off dot, so it'll be Timmons. Timmons playing in his 13th game out of South Fayette, Pennsylvania. Face-off won by the Terriers. Here comes Shane Bowers out of his own zone, one-on-one with Karashek. He just dumps it deep as they'll make a change. So Karashek will get it back for the Huskies. Skate back and rag it, play it out to center ice. We're at the BU line. It's picked off. Chad Chris will go after it for the Terriers. Chris stops behind the cage as he's being harassed by Timmons. And here comes winding up out of his own zone is Patrick Harper. Down the right side. Gets by Canal. Now Cockrell plays it deep for Amante. Amante to the near side half boards. Picked up by Kondelik. He'll just wing it cross ice to Gatcombe. And the Huskies will play it deep. They'll change up. Good work by the fourth line of the Huskies. Now Chad Chris comes up the right side out of his own zone. Eludes the on-rushing Regali. Chris hits the line. Trailer is Harper. Plays it back down low for Chris. He touches it down deep behind the UConn net. Gets by Cockrell. And here come the Huskies on the counter if they can clear, which they do at the center ice. Robbins with a check. Up with it, though, is Shane Switzer at the line. He just dumps it deep behind Vomajka, who shuts it down for the Huskies and leaves it for Philip Nyberg. Nyberg behind the net, being harassed by Matt Corsia. Outlet pass out to center ice. Here comes Regali chasing. He and Ferentz in a battle for the puck. Behind now the BU net. It's played up the boards. Not out is Clunan. Played into the half boards. Now Ferentz and Regali again get mixed up. Now the puck comes out between the circles. Ferentz comes up with it. And here come the Terriers trying to counter. Max Willman crosses center. Loops it into the UConn zone. Adam Karashik the first to get it. Leaves it for his teammate. Robbins up in the air. Puck hits the ice. Corsia up with it. Plays it behind the UConn net. Huskies stealing. Here comes Evans out of his own zone. Loops it off for Robbins. Gets by him. Wheeler at center ice bangs it right back into the BU zone. Huskies tag up. 12:15 to go. Period number 2. Huskies 2. Terriers nothing on first period goals by Carl Elmire and Wyatt Newpower. BU plays the puck to the UConn line. Captain Miles Jenner grabs it for the Huskies. He goes blue line to blue line. Plays it right off the UConn bench and Ferentz. And it just stops dead between the circles, so the Terriers have to retreat. Good forecheck as Zakov got hit in the face. It'll be a power play for the Huskies. Here's Newpower off the line. Waits, holds, gets it stripped, and Chermeta comes up with it. But Ruslan Zakov took a stick high, and the Huskies will go back on the power play. The question is Zakov okay? He got sticked right in the face by Gabriel Shabbat. And with 11:49 to go in the period, UConn to the man advantage. You take an eye on and see how Zakov's doing there, young man.
Well, that is the second time that Zakov has drawn a penalty. He drew the penalty against Diamante, 6.5-minute mark in the first period that allowed UConn their first goal, the power play goal by Carl Elmire. And, well, Zakov, you mentioned up in the face area, kind of one of those upward angles where it caught him more in the throat because hockey players have got the full cage, the full mask on, so it was the throat and neck area.
High stick to call, 8-11. Now we get a stoppage in play as the puck goes out of play. Shabbat with the penalty, and for Gabriel, that's just his third minor of the season. 8-11 the time. Huskies are 1 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. Their first goal of the game was a power play. Elmire off a deflection. The Elmire Connolly Payasov line out there with Nyberg. Face-off one for the Huskies. This is Captain Miles Jenner and leaves it for Nyberg. Now Connolly at the right face-off circle. Out on the outside, Fabro puts a body on him. Knocks down Connolly, and here comes Joel Farabee up the left side. Kicks it to his stick, lost it. Now he bumps with Payasov, and he dumps it to the hash marks for the Huskies, where Miles Jenner up with it as Farabee puts on the forechecking pressure. Jenner circles the wagons, now goes blue line to blue line for Elmire, who just deflects it deep. First to get it is Kasper Kinsella of the Terriers, rips it around the boards, gets by Nyberg out to center ice. Jenner again controls. 11 minutes to go in the second. Now Jenner's rink-wide feed picked off by Diamante. Now up with it is Vomajka, who plays it to open ice as a forecheck goes as one of the Terriers knocked down Vomajka, but the referees didn't see it. Did you?
I saw it. Unless it was embellishment, unless it was theatrics, it seemed like a pretty easy call to make.
Evans skates it into the BU zone, but he's ridden off the puck, and the Terriers dump it deep. 40 seconds to go on the UConn man advantage. They lead it 2-0. Newpower out of his own zone, finds a streaking Zakov, so he's okay. Flips it in deep. Leaves it for Freeman. Ripped around the boards, kept in by Karashek. Up with it is Coulter. Plays it for Freeman. Freeman trying to get to his Zakov, so Freeman goes to his backhand. Plays it back to line to Evans. Uses his backhand to get it to Freeman. All this along the near side half wall. Now it's Max Coulter. Back to the point to Johnny Evans. Evans, rink-wide feed for Newpower. Back up top to Evans. Waits, holds, gives the Newpower one-timer. That gets deflected well before it even got to the goal. Freeman bunts it to his Zakov. Goal line extended. Back to Freeman, top of the circle. Ben Freeman, as Zakov, right side. Back to the point to Freeman, to Evans. Cross-ice feed. Newpower one-timer. Ottinger the save. And the Terriers clear. And out of the box, the puck just eludes Shabbat. Goes down the ice. Vomajka leaves it for Freeman. And now up with it, the Huskies played out the center ice as Zakov at neutral ice. So the Terriers kill off the penalty. It's 2-0 UConn. 9:30 to go in the second. Here's Newpower in his own zone. Rink-wide feed, a cross-ice feed for Carter Turnbull. Down the left side. Storm towards the goal. Backhander, one-hander, and on net. Ottinger steers it away. And up with it, Patrick Harper of the Terriers. Leaves it for Chad Krish, rushing from the defense. Plays it deep for Cockrell. Logan Cockrell, far corner for the Terriers. Gets ridden off the puck. First to get it is Howarth. He couldn't control, though, as Canal plays it to the near side, and here comes Nyberg, skates to the blue line and out. It's hit with a high stick, Chris, but they say play on. Now it's Chris right in front of the BU bench, goes diagonal off a change, back to get its new power is on the forecheck is Cockrell. And the Huskies able to clear. Terriers have to tag up, new power grabs at the blue line, gives to Nyberg. 8:40 to go in the second, UConn 2-0. Long pass Nyberg, off a body, so they wave off the icing. Back to get it for the Terriers is Dante Fabro. Plays it blue line to Harper. Drop pass, another nice check. Puck trickles in on net, Vomajka makes the save. 8:35 to go in the second. UConn with just 2 shots, the Terriers with 3, but it's the Huskies with a 2-0 lead. This is UConn Huskies hockey, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott from Learfield, IMG College.
Tonight at 10 is the right time. Fox 61 is the right place for all your breaking news and weather. Fox 61 News at 10 with Brent Hart.
We're live in Hartford as police are on the scene of a crash that...
Ken Bernstein.
We are on the scene of breaking news in New Haven.
And Rachel Frank's forecast.
Heavy rain and thunderstorms moving across Connecticut over the next few hours.
Expect more tonight and every night. Fox 61 News at 10. Right place, right time.
Power Station Events is the official production and entertainment partner of the UConn Huskies. Whether you're planning a family celebration or a large-scale event, trust Power Station Events for just about everything you need to create a truly standout event. Audio, video, lighting, staging, decor, florals, DJs, musicians, photography, and much more. Power Station Events, the area's only one-stop event resource and the leader in event production since 1983. Go to powerstationevents.com.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott. With Brown, Penderis, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
Bob Joyce, Adam Giardino, XL Center. We're having so much fun tonight. We're doing it again tomorrow. Well, Adam is. I'm not. Game 2 of the home and home. 6:45 on the radio. Adam flies solo. I'll be in Orlando getting ready for the women's game on Sunday, which you can hear at 1:30 on the network. Of course, tomorrow I'm also going to drive down to Lakeland to watch the baseball Huskies, who are leading in the 7th, 2-1 over Louisville on the season opener for both teams.
Bottom 7, Kirsten went the first 6 innings, 5 hits, one run, and now C.J. Dandino comes in out of the bullpen for the Huskies.
Speaking of the hockey Huskies, on the face-off deep in their own zone against Ryan Clunan is Max Calter. And Mad Max has been told, or no, warnings to Zach Robbins, do not jump in the circle before the puck is dropped. Clunan wins the faceoff, back to Dante Fabro. Rink-wide feed to David Ferentz. Skates in on the left side, goal line extended, now behind the net. Keeps skating, now circles the wagon, centering pass. One-timer blocked out in front. The one-timer taken by Shabbat, blocked by Evans. Now Canal in a battle behind the net. Nyberg up with it, poke checks away. Back to get it to their Terriers, now behind the net it's Clunan. Clunan skates, tried to center and pass on a wraparound, gives it to Ferentz between the circles. Wrister, truck for a deflection. That goes wide, and that would have beaten Vomajka if that was deflected cleanly. Huskies able to clear it out. Here comes Evans, crosses center, leaves it for his teammates. Is Zakov. Now we get a whistle as there's some rough work in front of the UConn bench. Clunan and Evans getting mixed up, and I think Johnny Evans is going to get called for a penalty here.
And Clunan should go off as well. Yeah, Clunan was trying to fake back to his own bench as if nothing was the matter, but matching minors, and Evans gave him a secondary shove. Clunan had the big hit along the boards, and then Clunan grabbed a hold of Evans, so I think rightfully assessed, but if Clunan doesn't retaliate, maybe they miss it and Evans doesn't get booked, but Evans was the first one that would have gone to the box.
So we'll go 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Time of the penalty at 12:04. UConn's second penalty, BU's 5th. BU on average 5 penalties per game. UConn 4.5. Face-off will be in the BU zone. It'll be Joachim Kondelik for the Huskies, Shane Bowers for the Terriers. What are the face-off numbers so far tonight? 15 all. UConn has been vastly improved in face-offs the last few games. They're up well over 50%, which is the highest they've been all year.
In the second period, that means that BU has won 7 of 9 face-offs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just talking for the season coming in.
Right. But 15 all after a period, it was 13-8, and so now a 7-2 run by the Terriers. to get even in this game.
Huskies win this face-off. Connolly wins it. First to get it is Elmire. Elmire and Connolly playing catch. Now centering pass in front. Here's Piasoff with a poke check, but Ottinger dives out of his crease to the low part of the right circle, and he covers up as he saw the dangerous Sasha Piasoff coming in for that loose puck. He tried to poke check it by Ottinger, but Big Jake would have nothing of it. Jake Ottinger, 6'5", 205, first-round pick of the Dallas Stars in 2017 out of Lakeville, Minnesota. Face-off won by UConn again. Elmire in a battle for the loose puck. Now covering up is Connolly. Poke checked away by Bowers. Cam Crotty up with it to the half boards, but right to Elmire of UConn. In Elmire, gum for the puck. Cockrell comes out and gives it to Joel Farabee, who plays it to the UConn line as Karashek gets away from Cockrell, and the puck played out the center ice where Connolly in front of the UConn bench, turns it over. Cockrell gives it to Farabee, but a good back check by Piasoff takes Farabee out of the play and bumps him away, and that was a clean hit because the puck was right there. Now the Huskies play it back out to neutral ice as Crotty has to dump it right back in. The Terriers tag up. Here's Gendron with 7 minutes to go in the second with Farabee all over him. Dangerous, skates out in front of his own net, plays it out the center ice. Here comes Freeman for UConn. Down the left side, 2-on-2. Centering pass for Regali, but the pass was behind him. Now poke check by Freeman, but he couldn't control, and the Terriers will skate it out the center ice. Here is the dangerous Curry. Centering pass to Harper. Wrister, that goes wide. Harper back with the puck. Left side, half boards, near side. Plays it deep for Diamante. Goes to his backhand. Now to his forehand behind the UConn net. Tries for the wraparound, but he's wedged off. Now centering pass for Harper. Centering pass in front to Curry, and that gets wedged wide. Gonzalo keeps it alive. Gives it off to Amante. Now wrapped around the net to Gonzalo. Gets by him. Huskies unable to clear at the left point for the moment as a prone Amante down, but a penalty coming up against the Huskies, and it looks like Newpower is going to get called for a trip, and the Terriers will go back on the man advantage.
And just for a little bit of housekeeping, as this will be a trip, and Newpower does go into the box, or rather, Benjamin Freeman's the one who's skating over, so Freeman's the one who gets booked for it. But the previous penalties on Johnny Evans and Ryan Clunan, they're going to be in the box for 4 minutes each, and it was 5-on-5 action that we were experiencing. A roughing and a high sticking assessed to both players for their extracurriculars after the whistle.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, well, I took the headset off, so apologize if I'm repeating anything, but I think that was all breaking news.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was just doing the play-by-play.
Yep. That's your job, and this was mine.
Thank you. Well, then we've done our job well. As Zakov off the faceoff, backhands it deflected out of play. That means a faceoff will come back out to neutral ice. So 13:38, Freeman with the trip. For Ben, that's his eighth penalty of the year, because he's racked up some penalty minutes. Because if they were all minors, it would equal 20. It would equal 20. Let's see, 7, 14. It would equal 16 minutes right now. Well, he's got 27 minutes now worth of penalty minutes. So he's taken a few big ones.
Yep.
Face off just outside the UConn and right in front of the BU bench. Terriers dressed in red, trimmed in white. Karashek and Bowers being spoken to by Thomas Fryer, one of our game officials, game referees. Face off won by the Huskies as Karashek plays it to Chad Chris. Now Fabro will carry it in for the Terriers. Trailer is Farabee. Now it's Amante up with the puck. Now up with it is Chris. Chad Chris, top of slot to Fabro. He's dangerous. Now here's Amante, back up top to Fabro between the circles. Now Chris has it between the circles, right on the UConn Husky logo. Up with it is Curry, rink-wide feed for Fabro. Waits, holds, looks for a screen, and a deflection, missed it. Farabee plays it back to Chris. Chris between the circles, gives it to Farabee at the top of the right circle. Back up top to Chris between the circles. Wrister right on, shoulder save by Vomajka, out of play. Tomaj just looks, he doesn't look like he's nervous, he just looks relaxed. He's focused on the puck. He's just playing loosey-goosey right now, and he's playing terrific.
Bob, he looks like the starter. He looks like the guy that should be getting 80% of the reps. And if you didn't know the story of the season for UConn, you would have assumed that this isn't the freshman. You would assume that this was the incumbent junior that's between the pipes.
Vomajka, a fifth-round pick in the 2017 entry draft by the Nashville Predators. BU wins the faceoff. David Ferentz skates between the circles, gets it to Logan Cockrell, left point, back to Ferentz. Waits, holds, rink-wide feed for Cockrell at the left point. Spins, Rink wide feet picked off. Howarth the steal. He'll rip it down the ice for Jake Ottinger back to get it. 50 seconds on the man advantage. Freeman in the box for a trip. Now here's Harper rumbling to center. Hits the UConn line to Cockrell. His pass deflected. Turn and rip down the ice once again. That time is Zakhoff, one of the up-front penalty killers for UConn. Turns and stole it. Now here's David Ferentz with speed down the left side into the UConn zone. Gets away from Karashek. Centering pass, one-timer fanned on. Coming off the line was Harper. Or Curry. 11, not 21. And Zakhoff again plays it to the penalty box boards. And to neutral ice where Ferentz skates it in himself, but he's sandwiched by 3 Huskies. Zakhoff will rag some time here. Ruslan Zakhoff, instead of clearing it, dangerously almost turned it over to Harper, but the Huskies keep possession. Now they'll play catch as Karashek from Genrin, and Karashek says, that's enough. I'm just going to bang it down the ice. Here's Ferentz up with it for BU. Penalty time is up for the Huskies. We're back to 5 aside. Crossing the center is Fabro. Slap shot right on. Saved by Vomajka. Nobody there for BU, so the Huskies played out the center ice, and off the bench is Kondelik. Joachim Kondelik down the right side with Freeman, but Freeman was offsides as Kondelik bobbled the puck just enough as the play offsides. UConn Hockey brought to you by Moe's, where not only Adam downloads the Moe's app, but so does Drew Casey. And they both entered UConn 18 for a chance to win a year of free burritos.
Right. The question becomes what we do with that odd burrito at the end of the year. Drew and I decided to go halvesies if either of us win it. It's at 365th. I guess we would just cut it in half and I'd mail him.
Well, how do you know he likes beef or chicken, or what you don't?
Right. We would.
That's one of the great mysteries of life.
Sure.
Do you both like chicken? Do you both like beef? Or is it one or the other? You know.
I'm a chicken guy.
Well, we know you're chicken. Here's Farabee, cross center down the left side. One touch, a feather pass for Bowers, who skates behind the net. Lost an edge. Canal up with a loose puck for UConn. Plays it near side. Consalo keeps it in, but gloved down by Canal, and he'll play it out the center ice. It eludes his UConn teammate, Zach Robbins, with 3:35 to go in the period. UConn leads BU 2-0. Now Robbins with a good forecheck. Off his skate. Here comes Pyasov. He couldn't grab it. Now Robbins does. Leaves it for Kondelik. Kondelik down the right side. Stops. Goal line extended. Spins. Back to the point to Newpower. Hates. Holds. Wrister. Deflected right on. Off the shoulder of Ottinger is Elmire causing traffic again. But, you know, the thing I like about this first line of Elmire, Kondelik, and Pyasov, they work so well together. Add White Newpower to the mix off the line. He is easily the most improved Husky this year from last year. White Newpower.
And he's such an offensive-minded defenseman that when paired with Miles Gendron, who even as a captain only picked up his 5th point of the year tonight, you don't notice the missing offense, so to speak, in Gendron with all that he brings to the table in other facets.
Face-off won by the Terriers. Dante Fabro near half wall, plays it off the boards, loops it down the ice. Newpower the first to get it. He's playing with Miles Gendron, as Adam alluded to. Rings it around the board. Sasha Pyasov skates it to the blue line. Centering pass. Elmire between the circles. Big toe save by Ottinger, as that one was deflected. The wrister out in front off a BU player. Now here's Newpower in his own zone. Leaves it for Harper. Over skates it. So does Chris. So now Elmire grabs it for UConn. Trailer. The back pass to Kondelik. Kondelik rides off Harper. Good strength and size. Right face-off that rink wide feed. He was looking for Pyasov for a one-timer. Picked off between the circles. Now Curry skates at the center ice. Now bouncing puck where Kondelik gives chase, and Vomajka gloves it down. That thing looked like a knuckle puck on the ice. And you're just hoping Vomajka makes the save. He made it look easy, as it looks like Karashek and Curry got tangled up behind the UConn net, but I don't believe anything will come of it with 2.5 to go. Shots are 18-10. So quick math would be 5 for UConn and 5 for BU.
Yeah, and that's impressive because remember early in this period we had mentioned BU was out to
3 shots right away.
Three quick shots. And so over the last, 12, 13 minutes, it's only been two more shots for the Terriers.
Next goal in this game's a big one.
Yeah.
Face-off won by Coulter. Cockrell, though, plays it back. Nope, played it deep. Coming off the lines, Cam Crotty. Oh, nice hip check by Ruslan Zakhoff. Boy, he's learning to play that North American style quite nicely, thank you. Now Johnny Evans will skate it out to center ice. Goes rink wide to Coulter. Puck picked off, and here come the Terriers on the counter. Here's Ryan Clunan, ridden off the puck by Evans. Good back check. Now Coulter, rink wide feed to Nyberg. Nyberg crosses center. He'll just play it deep Behind as Jake Ottinger will grab it. Gets away from Izakov. Plays it up the near side wall. Puck turned over as called for the forecheck. Izakov trying to grab it, but good work on his knees was Matt Corsia to keep the Huskies from a good scoring opportunity. Now Corsia, rink-wide feed intended for Gabriel Shabbat. Picked off by the Huskies, as with it is Roman Canal. Canal blue line to Izakov, which is deflects it deep. The forwards will make a change with 90 seconds to go here in the second. UConn still up 2-0. Cam Karate looks for a streaking Joel Farabee off his stick, and the Huskies played it right back to the BU zone. This has settled into a good checking game. Cam Karate out of his own zone. His feed gets deflected by Regali, so the icing is waved off. So Canal plays it to open ice, and Cal Howarth deflects it out the center. Shane Switzer off the bench plays it back to Kinsalo. Gives it to Switzer with 1:10 to go in the period. Switzer blue line to Farabee. One touched for Curry. Over skates it, and here come the Huskies back the other way. This is Regali down the right side. The trailer is Howarth with 1 minute to go. Puts on the brakes near corner to the half boards. Turns, shoots. That gets deflected by Switzer. The Zamboni board entrance. We're coming off the line. Pinching in is Gendron for UConn. He falls. Plays to open ice near side. Up with it is Carl O'Meara. Attacks towards the goal. Wrister right on. Loose puck on the bang-in. It was a juicy rebound, but Howarth couldn't, or Connolly couldn't pounce on it. Curry now plays it out the center ice to Joel Farabee. Farabee spins to the face-off dot for Bowers, who's got to walk in. Wrister, stop, rebound, stopped again by Vomachka. As the Huskies grabbing Terriers as Kinsalo off the blue line came in, and the Huskies will have none of it. They're going to have penalties here because fists are flying with 30 seconds to go. But again, Adam Tomaj from Ojko just big, as Shane Bowers had a chance coming down the left side.
Yeah, this is as physical post whistle as we've seen all year. When you're saying fists are flying, that is really for the first time this year what we've seen. So we'll have to see how this all gets sorted out. I could very well see two players from each side getting escorted off here based on what was happening after the whistle.
Well, Joel Farabee has been told to go to the bench, and I think he got an unsportsmanlike. In fact, I think we're going to have more.
Oh, yeah.
Another Terrier. We see Payusov going. We see Curry going. 30.3 seconds to go. Penalty 6 and 7 for BU.
And we've got Carl Elmire going in as well.
So, yep. And penalties 4 and 5 for UConn.
So I would imagine it all works out matching, but from up here in the catwalks, the only punches we saw thrown seemed to be from the Terriers. That's not to say UConn wasn't without fault in riling up that post-whistle skirmish, but I don't think I saw any Huskies actually wind up with a fist and throw any in the direction of a Terrier.
Well, the officiating quartet of Fryer, Keenan, Riccitelli, sorry, I should know my Italian, and Briganti all congregated right in front of the in the half moon circle in the scores area, and they will figure out what the proper punishment is.
Well, for you, it's you're not invited to Sunday pasta supper.
Well, I won't be here anyways. I'll be in Orlando, so that's okay. But
okay.
Thanks for the invite.
We'll have to see. It seems to be all getting sorted out.
All right.
They've come to a verdict, and now it's just being passed along to each bench.
Well, one so far. One official is talking to Mike Cavanaugh, the UConn head coach. Albie O'Connell is in his first year. He was an assistant under David Quinn for a couple of seasons. Then Quinn, of course, took the job with the Rangers.
12th head coach in program history. I thought the most interesting thing about Albie O'Connell and really BU, a BU Terrier alum since World War II, 72 of the 73 years the Terriers have been led by an alum at head coach.
Jack Parker was the longtime coach there, right before David Quinn?
Yeah.
That sounds right. He coached some good ones, too. All right, we still know nothing as far as what the penalties are. I see 5 Huskies and 4 Terriers.
Now it's 5 and 5.
No, okay.
Yeah, no.
Fabro's come off
just
the bench.
Sure did.
So they'll all cancel out at 19:30.
Yeah, just 30 seconds to go, and
so if they don't announce the penalties before we resume, you will update everybody at home between periods. But the face-off will come outside the blue line. by the UConn blue line. The Terriers control. Fabro will backhand it near side off the boards. Back to get it is Wyatt Newpower of the Huskies. Plays it back to the near side where Pyusov will wedge it. Pyusov's in the box. Elmir tried to wedge it, and it gets knocked out of play by one of the UConn Huskies with 16.2 seconds to go.
I think Elmir's in the box as well.
Oh, so that was Regali. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. They're line mates, so yeah, that would make sense. All right, so we have on the face-off for UConn, it is Freeman. It's Bowers on the draw. 16 seconds to go in the period. Newpower plays it behind the net to Miles Gendron. He'll bunt it to open ice and out to neutral ice. But the puck was played with a high stick by one of the Terriers. So the face-off will come, should be right at the blue line. It is. It's just outside the UConn blue line across the way with 9.5 seconds to go in the period. So Freeman on the face-off. He's got Regali and Howarth with him. Ty Amante will take the draw for the Terriers. Amante wins it back. Regali tries to tip it. Does so. Goes forward with 5 seconds. Goes centers for Howarth, but the centering pass is his wrist shot deflected up into the netting by Ferentz with 2.2 seconds to go. How about that, Brian Regali? Brian's got pretty good A to B speed. And he made something out of nothing there and got a pass to Howarth, who had a decent look from between the circles.
Right, really only had 8 seconds to work with. It seemed like the final seconds were going to be meaningless, and that was a really good look.
Brian Regali looking at Crystal Dangerfield there, trying to go coast to coast.
Behind the back, no-look pass.
Yeah, exactly. Connolly on the face-off. Huskies overload the slot area, hoping for a face-off win by Connolly. Back to Gendron. 2.2 seconds to go in the period. Face-off to the right of Jake Ottinger. Bowers jumped in early. Linesman yells at him. Tried again. Face-off won by the Terriers. Amante plays it behind the net. That'll do it for period number 2. Now a little extracurricular activity as Regali backhanded it on net after the horn. Dante Fabro says, don't do that. And we'll go to the locker room. So a much different second period. Shots are 18-11 after 2. Can you believe it? The Terriers have just 11 shots on net through 2 periods? That's mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's remarkable. And do you want the quick penalty update?
Sure.
Joel Farabee's been given a game misconduct for throwing the punches. So there should be a power play at some point coming up for UConn, I would imagine. We'll sort out the whole thing, but 5 penalties were issued on 4 players.
Well, no, he just got a game misconduct, and then there were other 4. No, we should be all right.
So it'll be all minors.
Yeah, because if it was a power play, it would have happened right there. So, yeah. So Farabee got ejected. Curry, Pyusov. Farabee got an unsportsmanlike for diving. Then he had a game misconduct, and then Elmir hit after the whistle. So all that done. 2 periods of the books. Huskies 2, Terriers nothing. Adam and Drew will sort out more coming up in our second intermission as we continue from Hartford. You're listening to UConn Hockey, presented by Brown, Penderes, and Scott from Learfield, IMG College.
11 states, 13 institutions. Some of the nation's largest markets. Over 360,000 students. 2.6 million alumni. And 22 championship caliber sports that make up a Power 6 conference known across the country as the American.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Is your life affected by someone else's gambling? If your answer is yes or you have more questions, Gam-Anon is there for you. Gam-Anon helps family members, friends, and those affected by a compulsive gambler find answers and strategies for dealing with the finances, debts, and strained relationships caused by gambling. Visit gam-anon.org for the national meeting list. Come to a meeting whether or not the gambler in your life seeks help or even recognizes that there is a gambling problem. For more information, go to gam-anon.org.
Want to get the most out of your exercise? This is registered dietitian nutritionist Melissa Dobbins. A few hours before you work out, eat right. Have peanut butter and honey on whole grain toast, a turkey and Swiss sandwich with fruit, or oatmeal with banana, almonds, and fat-free milk. Then a half hour before you exercise, eat some fruit and drink a bottle of water. You'll train longer, work out harder, and delay fatigue. Eating right helps. For a registered dietitian nutritionist near you, visit eatright.org.
All 2 minutes, 30 seconds. 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 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
teams rest in the locker room, we keep working. Welcome to the Intermission Report. Coming up, we'll recap the last 20 minutes and get you caught up with scores from around the country. The Intermission Report begins now.
Adam Giardino with you at the XL Center in Hartford. It was 2-0 after a period. It's 2-0 after 2 periods. The only thing that changed, really, for the bodies in the penalty box over the course of the second period and over the course of the entire night, we've seen 16 penalties account for 40 penalty minutes, by far and away the most penalty minutes in a game this season. But no power play at the moment, despite all the bodies in the penalty box. So 2-0, our score. How did we get there? Well, 2 first-period goals, 6.5 minutes into the game. Diamante with the second penalty of the game. It was a holding call. He ripped Ruslan Isakov down to the ice, and that set up UConn with a power play opportunity, and it was Carl Elmire getting the job done.
Gives it off to Kondelik. He skates to the right point. Now towards the top of the slot. One-timer rink wide to Nyberg. That got blocked out in front. Elmire up with a loose puck. Or Gendron back to Nyberg. Deflected in! Elmire at the top of the crease gives the Huskies the 1-0 lead.
So 1-0, UConn had a lead. Elmire from Nyberg and Gendron, 13th of the year for Carl Elmire. 7 of those on the power play, and impressively for Carl Elmire, coming into today, his 6 power play goals was good for 16th in the country and 2nd in Hockey East. So can't wait to wake up tomorrow and see the updated rankings for Elmire after number 7 on the power play this year. So 1-0 UConn, and it stayed that way. Some penalties exchanged over the course of the first period, but then the final couple of minutes wound down, and with just over 2 minutes to go, UConn doubled their lead.
Gets a second chance. Now here comes Evans with Isakov. Gives to Isakov. Isakov eludes. Back to the point. New power. Has room. Wrister score! Wyatt Newpower with a wrister over the glove side of Ottinger. Thanks to the good work of Coulter, Evans, and Isakov, and with 2:09 to go in the first, the Huskies double the lead to 2-0.
So 2-0 UConn, and again, that's where we stand right now, a 2-0 lead. The shots are 18-11 in favor of the Huskies. After BU recorded 5 shots in the first period, only 6 in the second period. So UConn's defense has been stingy. And let's see, second period featured 10 penalties and 11 shots on goal between the two teams. So that was kind of what we saw over the second 20 minutes of action. Well, can't wait to see what we've got over the final 20 minutes of action with 40 minutes behind us. But coming up next, Drew Casey, he's got an update on some Hockey East scores, and the one I can't wait to hear, UConn baseball, their season opener against number 4 Louisville down south, down in Florida. We got an update on that coming your way next. This is UConn men's ice hockey action, presented by Brown Payne Dearest and Scott from Learfield IMG College.
Did you know you can support UConn athletics and earn cash back every time your business accepts a debit or credit card payment? That's right. Impact by Ironwood offers the best debit and credit card payments processing tools around, and they'll donate a portion of their profits to UConn athletics in your name. The best part is you don't have to spend an extra dime to earn exclusive member benefits and support your Huskies. For more information, call 1-833-GO-TEAMS or go to www.impacthuskies.com. Make a difference. Make an impact.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
It's impossible. You can't fly in a metal tube through the sky or put a rover on Mars. Fact is, everything's impossible until it isn't. At UConn Health, we believe in the power of possible. We've seen what it can do for patients, for medicine. Our job isn't just to make you better. Our job is to make medicine better and create the possibilities that others will use years from now. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
40 minutes in the books at the XL Center as UConn leads BU 2-0 after 2 periods of play. Huskies led 2-zip after 1. Still that score after 2, more of a checking game developing in the middle period. Drew Casey with you inside the network studios. We take a look at the scoreboard on this Friday across the rest of Hockey East. First, with 4 other games in the league, everything currently in progress, beginning with the second-ranked team in the country, that's UMass. The Minutemen trailed Boston College 2-1 after 1 at home at the Mullen Center, but they've bounced back in the second period.
Finds Chafee to the point for McCarr with the dish back to Leonard. Right wing side of the circle. Power play to 5. In front, slot, out of the feet, Chafee, left McCarr, goes back across, score. Tic-tac-toe, McCarr to Leonard. It's a power play goal, and we're tied at 2.
John Risch from Learfield IMG College with the call as UMass tied the score at 2 there. John Leonard's 11th of the season. The Minutemen weren't done yet in the second, though. UMass has a 3-2 lead after 2 periods of play. Elsewhere, 10th-ranked UMass Lowell hosting number 13 Providence. The Riverhawks are second in the league standings, but it's been all Providence tonight on the road. 5-0 Friars the score after 2. Casper Bjorkquist with a pair of goals for PC. Again up 5-zip on the road at UMass Lowell. Other games, 14th-ranked Northeastern and Vermont are all tied up at 1 after 2. And rounding out the league action tonight, Merrimack hosting Maine. The Warriors of Merrimack have a 3-1 lead after 2 periods of play. On the UConn scoreboard tonight, that UConn baseball score, the season opener for the 20th-ranked Huskies. They start inside the top 25, a 3-game set with number 4 Louisville down in Lakeland, Florida. The Huskies have a 3-2 lead after Louisville tied it at 2 on a bases-loaded walk. Paul Gazzo, fresh off the bench, a pinch-hit homer in the top half of the 8th inning. And the Huskies threatening for more with a runner on second and 2 away in the top of the 8th. Huskies 3, Cardinals 2. Again, 2 outs in the top half of the 8th inning. Elsewhere, UConn softball dropped both ends of a doubleheader earlier in South Carolina. A 7-3 loss to BU and a 3-2 defeat at the hands of South Carolina upstate. Other action, women's ice hockey upended by Merrimack 7-1 and men's tennis beaten by ECU 4-0. The Ice Bus, men's ice hockey, looking good tonight at the XL Center, though we're through 2 periods of play. UConn leads BU by a score of 2-0. We check stats next with Adam. Then the third period for you after these words. Presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn Hockey from Learfield IMG College.
When it comes to the college basketball season, the only team that matters is the UConn Huskies.
Gives it to Samuelson. Open 3. Got it!
With the Wells Fargo UConn Women's Basketball Debit Card, you can show your Husky pride with every purchase you make. Head to your local Wells Fargo and ask for your new UConn Women's Basketball Debit Card today.
Fakes on the 3, drives, pulls up, banks it in, and she's fouled by Turner.
Wells Fargo is the official retail bank partner of UConn Women's Basketball.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Me, a cat, moving in with a single guy. At first, I thought it might be a little weird. But turns out it's actually pretty amusing. For instance, like my human's gotten so used to me being around, sometimes I think he forgets I'm here. He'll get up for work, shower, shave, and come out with no pants. Plops right down in front of the TV. Hello, there's a lady in the room.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
So, you want to be a hero. Here are some ways to get the job. Hunt down that killer shark. Or run into a burning house to save a kitten. Luckily, there's an easier way to become a hero. Call 911 if you see someone experiencing the symptoms of stroke, sudden weakness on one side, or trouble speaking, walking, or seeing. Stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. You'll be a real hero. A message from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke.
Back here in Hartford, Adam Giardino with you. Thanks to that out-of-town scoreboard update from Drew Casey. Exciting things for the UConn baseball team in their season opener. Exciting things for UConn men's ice hockey, looking for a 3rd straight win. Northeastern, Merrimack, and they've got a multi-goal lead with 20 minutes to go against the BU Terriers. That second period featured UConn getting outshot 6-5, though they're still +7. They're up 18-11 in shots. Face-offs, the second period belonged all to the Terriers. They won 15 of the 22 faceoffs in the second period. If that's one way to get your team back in it, earning possessions. So UConn needs to square that situation up. UConn controlled faceoffs, winning 13 of 21 in the first period, but now BU 22 out of 42 for the game. A little more than half the faceoffs have gone their way. Shots in the game, Wyatt Newpower, he's got 4 of them for UConn, 2 apiece from Ruslan Azakov, Philip Nyberg, and Carl Elmir. On BU's side of things, though they don't have a goal, they have 4 shots from Dante Fabro, and they have 3 from Chad Chris. Jake Ottinger's turned aside 16 of 18 shots, and it has been a perfect 11 of 11 from Tomasz Womajka. That does it for second period intermission. The Golden Pipes of Bob Joyce, as always, next. So you want to strap yourself in for a final fun 20 minutes of hockey. This is UConn men's ice hockey action presented by Brown, Payne-Dearest, and Scott from Learfield IMG College.
Tonight at 10 is the right time. Fox 61 is the right place. For all your breaking news and weather, Fox 61 News at 10 with Brent Harden.
We're live in Hartford as police are on the scene of a crash that...
Ken Bernstein.
We are on the scene of breaking news in New Haven.
And Rachel Frank's forecast.
Heavy rain and thunderstorms moving across Connecticut over the next few hours.
Expect more tonight and every night. Fox 61 News at 10. Right place, right time.
When it comes to the college basketball season, the only team that matters is the UConn Huskies.
Gives it to Samuelson. Open 3. Got it!
With the Wells Fargo UConn women's basketball debit card, you can show your Husky pride with every purchase you make. Head to your local Wells Fargo and ask for your new UConn women's basketball debit card today.
Fakes on the 3. Drives. Pulls up. Banks it in, and she's fouled by Turner.
Wells Fargo is the official retail bank partner of UConn women's basketball.
12 teams, 4 days, 1 champion.
From Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Make your plans now for the 2019 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship, March 8th through the 11th at Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Don't miss a minute of the action. Visit MoheganSun.com, Ticketmaster.com, or call 1-800-745-3000 to purchase your seats today.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Payne-Dearest, and Scott. With Brown, Payne-Dearest, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
With Adam Giardino, producer Drew Casey, Bob Joyce from the Big Y broadcast location. I atop the catwalk here at the XL Center. Huskies this season 6-2-1 when leading after 2. The Terriers 0-12-1 when trailing after 2 this season. Huskies with first period goals from Carl Elmir and Wyatt Newpower. 4 players in the box to start the third, but we will skate 5 aside. Huskies will go from broadcast right to left here in the third, and the home white trimmed in the national flag blue. And it'll be a little bit of some awkward lines as we start the third. UConn will begin with Brian Regali, Ben Freeman, and Zach Robbins, with Nyberg and Canal. On the defense, Bowers with Matt Corsia and Logan Cockrell up front with Ferentz and Fabro, the defensive combination. Terriers win the faceoff. Here's Fabro. Skates out of his own zone, hits the blue line, rips it around the boards. Far side for Cockrell, who gets hammered. Now the loose puck as Corsia plays it out to Robbins of UConn, and he'll go diagonal to the bench, to the penalty box boards, and play it to neutral ice. Ferentz leaves it for Fabro. In front of the benches, off a skate of Bowers. Plays it behind the net, where the first to get it's Canal. Now Regali will try to play it out off the boards. Wedged out. Good support by the Huskies. Regali plays it out to center ice, but here come the Terriers again, and a shot as wristed on. Corsia, as he was falling, got a wrister in on net, and Womajka again up to the task. Now rink-wide feed for Brian Regali. He crosses center, dumps it deep so everybody can change for the Huskies. First off the bench is Max Coulter, trying to chase down Dante Fabro, who backhanded the line. Not out, kept in by Evans. Tries to get around his defenseman, Ferentz, but he couldn't get the shot off. Now it's Coulter at the half boards. Checked by Amante. Plays it behind the BU net where Zakov couldn't grab the puck. Now Gendron pinching it off the blue line, plays it deep. Ferentz reverses the flow to Fabro. We've played a minute 10 here in the third. UConn a 2-0 lead as Gendron and Newpower out there for the Huskies. Genren leaves it for Zakov. Behind for Genren. Miles Genren, the captain. Rink-wide feed off the boards for Newpower. Newpower skates it out to center ice. Blue line to Coulter, who deflects it in deep. Defenseman will change for the Huskies. Jake Ottinger plays it up the boards. Kept in by Coulter. Has it stripped. And Amante plays it out to center ice. And here come the Terriers on the counter. 2 minutes into the third period. Ridden off the puck is Harper. Gets it back. Near circle. Centering pass for Amante. Tries for the wraparound. Centers it. Plays it off the back of the net. Comes back to the right point to Cam Crowdy. Loose puck. Up with it are the Terriers. They control. Wellman turns wrist it. Blocked out in front. Now up with it Amante. Back to the point. Over skating. It's Gonzalo. Look out. Wheeler's got to break out. Tries to get around Patrick Harper, but Harper says, I'll take that, thank you. And then it's taken back by Cale Howarth. Howarth behind the BU net. Centering pass for Turnbull off the blue line. Pass behind him. Canal keeps it in. Skates it to the near corner as a Terrier falls down. No penalty. It's play on. Puck comes loose. Harper grabs it for BU, but he's poke checked away by Howarth. Back to the point to Canal. Turns, fires a shot. Big stop by Ottinger, had to come out top of his crease to knock that one down. Now Howarth. Far corner, gives it one-timer for Gatcombe off the heel of his stick, and it comes to the near corner and back out the center ice off the BU clear, and up with its Regali. Crosses the blue line, down the right side, skates behind the BU net, wrap around! Ottinger shuts the door as he tried that little curly Q jam in from behind the net, and the Terriers trying to clear the zone, raking up into the crowd as Gonzalo's clear. Goes up into the crowd as a bevy of players. Well, 3 of the 4 come out of the box for their respective clubs. 17:09 to go in the third. 2-0 Huskies.
So it looks like BU's going to keep their players on the ice, and, well, we're going to have to see how much longer the BU Terriers still have a player in the penalty box for the game misconduct.
Kondolik wins the faceoff. Back to the point to Newpower. Now Genren up the left side. Skates it deep. Controls, has it poke check. It eludes everyone. Kept in, punched in by Payusov, and now we're going to get a penalty here, and it's going to be a hooking penalty. And by the looks of it, it's going to be against UConn. 3 minutes and 3 seconds into the period, Captain Miles Genren goes to the box for hooking, and he's arguing, going all the way to the bench. Look out. His stick got tied up, and he accidentally hit, and now he gets a game. Now he gets a misconduct. That's just silly. And Mike Kavanaugh's ripping because the stick, the referee did not see the stick got tied up, accidentally hit the official. Now Genren gets teed up. That's not good.
Yeah, that's a game-changing situation, and Kavanaugh, yeah, I don't know what his argument is or isn't, but...
No, here's what I'm going to say. Genren was saying something, and as he went to bring the stick, it hit the boards, it came back and hit the official inadvertently.
Right. Genren didn't whack the official with the stick.
Why would he?
Yeah, you wouldn't turn and whack the official with a stick.
No, you'd be done for the year.
Right.
So Timmins will go to the penalty box to serve the minor. So cooler heads now need to prevail, as the original penalty was a hook on Genren at the 3:03 mark. So the Terriers just 11 shots on net. Get another power play. So far tonight, the Terriers are 0 for 3. The Huskies are 1 of 4. Ty Amante on the faceoff to the left of Omachko. 1 for Fabro. Played it back to Chris, but Chris wasn't there, and it goes back into the BU zone. Here's Chris to Fabro. Winds up. Comes down the right side. Hits the line. Here's Bowers, the trailer to Fabro at the right point. Left point to Chris. Plays it deep to Amante. Back one-timer. That's deflected. Blocked down in front by Payusov. And the puck reverberates all the way down the ice as Bowers went back to Fabro and he missed it. So Chad Chris to get it. His dad played at BU, was the captain of the 91 NCAA finalist. Skates it deep, lost control of it, ripped down the ice by Newpower. As we're approaching 4 minutes gone here in the third, UConn leads BU 2-0 here in Hartford. Here come the Terriers rushing up the ice. It's Bowers down the left side trying to get around Nyberg. Puts on the brakes. Goal line extended in front of the Zamboni entrance. Keeps possession. Plays it to open ice to Amante behind the UConn cage. Ty Amante leaves it for his man. Back to the point to Fabro. Rink wide feed to Chris at the left point. Top the slot to Fabro. Back to Chris. Chris waits, gives it back to Fabro. They play catch. Now back to Chris. Holds. Diagonal pass deflected to the near corner. As again Nyberg gets the deflection, and then Azakov punches to the line, not out. Here's Chris coming in, walking in left side. Waits, holds, centering pass. He had a Monty alone in front. Went off a UConn skate. Now Fabro, top of the slot. Veers to the right side. Wrister through traffic. Blocked out in front. Cleared by Cale Howard. Good work by the UConn defense. Nothing's getting through for BU, and when it does, it's touching no one. Huskies have blocked a lot of shots today, Adam.
Yeah, they've just done a great job. That's how you only have 11 shots through 45 minutes.
Terriers quick rush up the ice. Wrister, that gets deflected behind the UConn net. Back to the near side point. Kept in by the Terriers as Harper battles with two Huskies. Canal and Regali. Loose puck up with it is Max Wellman. Rink wide feed. Waiting, holding, wristing. Wellman tries to deflect it. It comes loose, but the Huskies able to play it till the point penalty time is up. Has Timmins out of the box. Wrister, Timmins blocks the shot, and if he's got any speed, he's got a breakaway, but he has no angle. So he'll cross it into the BU zone, get wedged off by Cockrell. He plays it in on the net nicely. Good job by Timmins coming out of the box. Here comes Wellman the other way. Gets around Nyberg, but here comes Newpower for support. Wedges Wellman to the boards, and then Nyberg, rink wide, feed behind the net to Payusov, who outlets to Nyberg down the right side. The trailer. Wrister, Elmire. Wrister gloved down by Ottinger, and he holds on for the face-off.
So right now, UConn is at even strength with Miles Gendron serving game misconduct and Joel Farabee the same for BU in their penalty box.
Yeah, they're both in the penalty box, correct?
Yes.
Now, if they get game misconducts, why don't they just go to the locker room?
I could figure out why Gendron gets put in there, but I don't understand why Farabee came out in the third period already with a game misconduct under his belt and not in the locker room. I don't get that.
Yeah, that's puzzling to me. Well, it's not the NHL, that's for sure. Of course, if there's a delayed penalty and you score, you still get penalized in college hockey. Here come the Terriers off the face-off. Gabriel Shabbat plays it deep into the UConn end where Wyatt Newpower rings it around the boards. Kept in by Corsia. Plays it for Shabbat behind the net. Goes to his backhand. Knocked off the puck nicely as Coulter took it away. Now it's Jack DeBow behind the net. Lost it. Up with it is Newpower. Gives it to Wheeler. One touch to Azakov. Ruslan Azakov. Rink wide feed to Evans streaking down the right side. Wrister sticked away by Ottinger to the near side wall. Connolly comes up with it for UConn. Works around Kinsalo. Just wedges him off the puck, but Kinsalo just as big. Plays it. Now it's Connolly. Ripped away by Azakov. Back to Connolly to his backhand. Turns, shoots it, blocked. Now back to the point. Left side of Roman Canal. Wrister goes wide off the backboards. Evans will be the first to get it. Corsia staples him to the boards. Now Azakov in a battle for the loose puck. Comes up with it. Connolly there for support. Gets away from Cam Karate. Loose puck, and up with it is Matt Corsia for the Terriers, and he'll skate it out to center ice. 3-on-3. Corsia crosses center. Wrister in on net. Easy stop for Tomasz Romajka. Leaves it for Roman Canal. Eludes a forechecker for the Terriers. Puck trickles out to the line and out. Wedged out by Elmire for Connolly. Here's Joachim Connolly. Poke checked off the puck. Play back out the center ice. Newpower grabs it and rips it back deep. Shane Switzer back to get it for BU. Outlet pass, rink wide feed. Here's a streaking Kluneland. Drop pass for Crotty. Wrister, that sticked away by Vomajko, was going to go wide anyways. Ben Freeman up with it for UConn. Goes to his backhand to Carl Elmire. He skates it out the center ice. Gives it to Newpower off the line. Now the trailer. Here's a wrister by Turnbull. That goes high and wide. Reverberates around the boards and out the center ice where Bauer comes down the right side for BU. Waits for a trailer. Holds. Centering pass. He had Clunan coming in off the line, but the pass was behind him. So Switzer plays it behind the UConn net. Has Nyberg. Leaves it for Freeman, who dangerously side of the net. Turned it over. Puck behind the net to Shane Bowers. Now up with it is Curry. Patrick Curry. Spins. Near corner for the Terriers. Being checked by Freeman. Curry uses his body to wedge everybody off the puck. Now gets it to Ryan Clunan. He spins. He goes down. And it's gloved down by Nyberg. And what do we got? It wasn't a hand pass, was it? Did the referee think the puck was out of play?
I think so. The puck almost came to rest on top of the glass.
Right.
And I thought it was teetering out of play. It actually toppled back onto the ice when the whistle blew.
Like a teeter-totter. That's the teetering.
Right.
Yes. UConn Hockey brought to you by UConn Health, official healthcare partner of the UConn Huskies. He's Adam Giardino. I'm Bob Joyce. Drew Casey, our producer. 12:08 to go in the third. Huskies' first period goals holding up so far. As the Terriers with just 14 shots on net. Ty Monty on the face-off along with Benjamin Freeman. left of Omajka, the glove side. Face-off one for Freeman. Comes out to Payusov, plays at the center, where Robbins up with it for the Huskies. 1-on-3, spins 1-on-4, plays it deep as the Huskies make a wholesale change. Now Ottinger leaves it for David Ferentz behind the net, who has to spin away from Cale Howarth on the forecheck. Comes up with it and outlets the blue line out the center, but Gatcomb the first to get it, and he leaves for Karashek. Rink wide to Canal, diagonal pass at center ice off the skate of Howard. Here comes Logan Cockrell of BU off the turnover. Down the left side, deflected in front, loose puck, swept away by Canal. Right on the doorstep, though, was Harper for BU if that puck got all the way through. Now Fabro at his own line. Drop pass for Ferentz. Ferentz overskates the puck with 11.5 minutes to go. UConn a 2-0 lead. Turned over at the UConn line. Gatcomb leaves it for Turnbull. Plays it off the boards. Gatcomb will go on the forecheck, but Captain Fabro will grab it for BU and give it to Patrick Harper. Harper goes right to left, hits the UConn line, circles, waits for reinforcements, skates it out, but UConn steals it anyways. Karashek plays up to Newpower. Turnbull tried to play it up to Newpower. Now as Zakov gets a stick on it, it's Nyberg with a big hit along the boards. And what do we got? We're going to have a penalty on UConn as Nyberg's going to go to the penalty box for a hit to the head. With 11:02 to go in the third power play coming up after 10 seconds for Station ID. Presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn Hockey from Learfield IMG College. So at 8:58, Nyberg the minor for a hit to the head. And the Terriers, who have had all sorts of problems on the power play tonight, 0 for 4, will get their 5th. As the Huskies are giving the Terriers chances to get on the board here. 2-0 UConn lead. Amante on the face-off with Coulter. Face-off controlled by the Terriers. Here's Chris. Plays it deep for Ty Amante. Ridden off the puck by Roman Canal. Now Karashek grabs it and rips it down the ice for UConn. The up-front penalty killers are Payusov and Elmir. Now we're going to get a hooking penalty against BU, and Amante's going right to the box. And that hook took place behind the play.
Well behind the play, absolutely.
It's not Amante, it's Bowers. Amante went to the box thinking, I'll take it, but the referee says no. 15, you head to the box. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for the next 146.
All right. Opens up the ice some. It doesn't make the situation any better for UConn in the sense that 4-on-4 hockey, UConn would be content to just play defense for 10 more minutes and skate away with a win, but BU, they're going to have some open ice to work with.
So the face-off comes all the way down to the left of Jake Ottinger. Elmir, Connolly, Canal, and Karashek for UConn. Looks like Curry on the face-off for BU. They're already telling Jakob Connolly, get out of the face-off circle. So Carl Elmir will take it for the Huskies. Face-off controlled by the Terriers. Dante Fabro grabs it, races behind his own goals, being harassed by Carl Elmir. Rumbles up the right side. Now a drop pass picked off by Connolly at the BU line. Tries to inside out his man, backhand. The trailer's Elmir. Wrister through traffic. Juicy rebound as it's stopped by Ottinger, but first to get it is Chris of the Terriers. Chad Chris circles the wagons at neutral ice. Now comes rumbling up the left side, gets by Regali, but there's Karashek. Wrister by Chris in on net. Vomajka shuts the door, comes out and makes the save.
Well, if that's save number 15 for Vomajka, that continues to be an impressive 9+ periods. 80 of his last 82 he's turned aside.
Co-defensive player of the week in Hockey East, the same week that Ruslan Zakov was named the Hockey East Pro Ambitions Rookie of the Week. Face-off won by Ben Freeman in the UConn zone. Canal plays it to open ice to Newpower behind the net. He and Newpower will play catch. Canal grabs it, turns, wrists it out, tries to go blue line to blue line, but Regali is offsides. They tried the long stretch pass, and the face-off will come all the way back in the UConn zone as we have 1:01 left of 4-on-4 hockey. Nyberg took a hit to the head at 8:58. Bowers with a hook for BU at 9:12. If my math is right, the Huskies have 8 penalties. The Terriers have 9.
I'll check your work, but it's going to take a little bit.
Each credited with 10. I guess the misconducts are an extra penalty right on the stat sheet. Both teams with 10 penalties for 28 minutes. So it usually evens out. It does tonight. Here's Newpower off the face-off. Plays it off the bench boards out to the blue line, intended for Regali, but Fabro up with it for the Terriers. Drop pass for Ferentz. Ferentz hits the UConn line. Drop pass. Here's Chris rumbling down. Who is that? That is Clunan. Swept away. Leaves it off for his teammate Ferentz down the right side. Goes to his backhand. Looks for the stuff. Centering pass. No one there. Puck comes to the near side wall. Dante Fabro up with it for the Terriers. Drop pass for Patrick Harper. Harper and holds. Top of the slot. Keeps going towards the left circle. Walks in. Skates behind the net. Stop play. Scores. Vomajka couldn't get the skate to the near side post, and Patrick Harper with the stuff play. And hold on to your hats. 9:18 to go in the third. Terriers are on the board for Patrick Harper, his third of the season.
And obviously, at 4-on-4, it's not a power play goal, but that's one of those where a penalty taken by Philip Nyberg, he's got to be in the box shaking his head, just frustrated that it ultimately results in a goal some minute 45 later. So even at an even strength 4-on-4 goal there, one that UConn didn't want to give up.
Fabro should get one of the assists. He just banged it off of Vomajka as he was trying to get to the post. He banged it off the base of his skate and banked it in. Nice wraparound stuff play by Patrick Harper. Now the Terriers control. We still got 2 seconds, 1 second. The Huskies will go on the power play for 13 seconds as the Terriers. This is Cockrell. Spins at the faceoff dot. The trailer goes off a Husky. Loose puck in front. Look out. But UConn able to control it. As Sasha Pyasov plays it to open ice on his backhand. Gives it off for Carl Elmire. With Connolly down the right side. Gives to Connolly. Goal line extended. Wrister right on. Ottinger has to hug the post, and he holds on for the faceoff. And that'll get us to our under 10 timeout. So Patrick Harper has made things interesting. Huskies 2, Terriers 1, 8:43 to go. From Brown, Panderas, and Scott, this is UConn Hockey, presented by Learfield IMG College.
Okay, so the accident wasn't your fault, but you really got hurt. You're out of work, and the bills are mounting. You're going to need a lawyer. You need a firm that has the clout of the big firm, but also a firm that has the time to focus on what you really deserve. The stakes are high, and you can't afford to lose a minute. With Brown, Panderas, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Panderas approved the content of this message.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. With Brown, Panderas, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
As Artie Johnson once said on Laugh-In, this is going to get very interesting.
If it isn't already, Bob.
Yeah, third period. Huskies clinging to a 2-1 lead. Face-off by Max Calter. Loses it as Patrick Curry comes up the rumbling up the left side, eludes the UConn defenseman Nyberg. Newpower to cover up, plays it off the boards, kept in. Oh, Bowers overskates it. Here comes Izakov. Caught Gonzalo slipped. Izakov cuts to the middle, drop pass. Wrister by Calter. Ottinger out top of his crease makes the save. Turnover at the UConn line led to Ruslan Izakov exploding up the right side. He was covered. He dropped it off for Calter. We got a pretty good wrister in on net. And the save made. So far, they have not announced assist on Harper's third of the season that made it 2-1. The box now for BU is empty. Miles Jenner remains in the box.
For whatever reason.
So the face-off will come to the left of Ottinger. Freeman controls the face-off to Brian Regali behind the net. Bodied off by Ferentz, plays it back to the point to Adam Karashek. He risks it through traffic, deflected. Oh, big stop by Ottinger as he got a pad on that one. Stuck out the toe and makes a big stop. Now here is Regali, turns wrister. He was harassed from behind by Switzer and kept in. Oh, Regali bats it down, keeps it in the BU zone. Poke check, but it comes out to neutral ice. As back to get it for the Huskies is Roman Canal. Rink wide feed to Adam Karashek. Neutralized, plays it off the penalty box boards. Take a second hack at it. Now it's wedged in deep, and the Huskies will change up. Piasoff on the forecheck with 7:45 to go. UConn clinging to a 2-1 lead. Did you expect anything less from the Huskies and Terriers? Another one-goal game. New power across the center. Dumps it deep. Forechecking will be Condoleezza. Chris back to get it for the Terriers. Leaves it for Ferentz behind the net. Back to Chris. And he'll play it up the boards to center for Bowers. Poke checked off the puck. Elmire the steal. Elmire crosses the line, but he's back checked by Patrick Curry, who comes up with it. Skates behind the Terrier net. Cuts inside. Outlet pass. Back out there is Joel Farabee for the Terriers. Cross the center, so a 10-minute misconduct, not a game misconduct. So that clarifies things why they were in the box. So they were 10-minute misconducts, not games. Here's Cock-Gonzalo. Crosses center, rips it deep off the backboard. Played back to the blue line, tipped by Connolly, got the center ice. For Piasoff, gets it off to Azakov. Down the left side, he's poke check. Azakov gets it back. Wedged off by two Terriers, but he plays it between the circles with 6:50 left in the third. UConn 2, BU 1. Now Coulter by the bench boards. Plays it back to Azakov, who skates out of his own zone. Leaves it for Karashek. His pass deflected to Canal, but the Terriers, no one was there to pick off an errant puck. Now Canal goes rink wide feed. Somehow finds Evans down the right side. Stops at the half boards. Plays it behind the net to Cam Crowdy. Coulter on the forecheck, missed him. Here comes Max Wellman for BU. Skates in front of the UConn bench, gets around Canal, and then Corsia plays it behind the net. Now Shabbat up with it. Shabbat gets away from Canal, turns wrister, blocked. Karashek knocks it down, and what are we going to get, a hand pass? As Karashek called for the hand pass, as it went out to Canal, he basically took a swipe at it. If he took a swipe at it and it went out of the zone, it would have been fine. But seeing as it hit Canal, I guess they call a hand pass with 6:12 to go. Having fun yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is classic Hockey East with major implications, and you got a couple of teams that are fighting hard. You hope that penalties won't factor in the final 6 minutes and 12 seconds, that if something happens, if another goal is scored, either a 3-1 lead or a 2-2 tie, you hope that it's just even strength hockey and that a miscue doesn't necessarily make the difference.
Mike Cavanaugh has taken a timeout. 6:12 to go in the third. Shots 25-18 UConn. Carl Elmire on a deflection. 7:06 in the first on the power play from Nyberg and Gendron, 1-0. Then new power from Izakov and Evans at 17:51. His third made it 2-0. It stayed 2-0 until the 10:42 mark of the third went on a wraparound. Patrick Harper stuffed one in past Tomasz Romadska, and that's where we stand right now, 2-1. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night. Adam has it at 6:45 here on the network and the TuneIn app. Search UConn IMG for that one.
Get them both fired up. Do two apps at once. Fire up the old listener numbers. Dante Fabro, 19 assists. That is the man who assisted on Patrick Harper's third goal of the year. So Dante Fabro.
I had a feeling that was going to be the one he was going to get, because he was the last one to touch it before.
He's had a good game so far. So Fabro, a couple of assists up to, or an assist, and he's up to 19 now this year.
Dante, first-round pick of the Predators in 2016 out of New Westminster, British Columbia. Two-time member of the World Junior Team in Canada. Face-off will come to the right of Tomasz Romadska. Kondolik on the face-off, wins it for Wyatt Newpower. Skates to the half boards, flips it out to center ice as Piasoff wedged off the play. And now the aforementioned Fabro with a rink-wide feed, and here come the Terriers. One-touch pass to Logan Cockrell. Gets around Nyberg, but Nyberg got a stick. Now Monte turns between the circles as the puck found his stick, and he wristed it wide. Fabro at the right point. Wrister, that gets deflected, knocked down, never made it to the net. Now Chris up with it. Rink-wide feed for Harper. Walks in. Wrister, penalty coming up as a Husky got dumped in front of the net, and it's going to be a penalty on the Terriers. As Newpower went crashing to the ice. And with 5:43 to go, Huskies to the man advantage. A big interference penalty in front. And it looks like Logan Cockrell will be the guilty party for the Terriers, either 8 or 9.
Yeah,
it looks like 9, does it, Cockrell?
Cockrell.
Yep.
And so this is a game that has now featured 21 penalties. The first penalty of the game was taken by Logan Cockrell, 2:46 in, and now the 21st penalty taken by Cockrell as well.
So a big power play here for the Huskies. It comes at the 14-17 mark. Face-off will be to the right of Jake Ottinger. Coulter on the face-off. Wins it back to Newpower. Newpower gives it to Evans. Evans between the circles. Backhand pass to Freeman. Down low is Zakhoff. Back to the right point to Evans. Rink wide Newpower. One-timer that gets blocked by Curry. Now as Zakhoff gets away from the check of Kinsalo. Plays it back off his knees to Evan. Evans, rink wide feed to Newpower on the right. Top the slot to Evans. Evans will skate to the left point. Waits. Gives to Newpower. Newpower to Zakhoff. One-timer in on net. Booming pad save by Ottinger. Right back to Zakhoff, who gets wedged off the puck. Now trickles back out to Evans. Skates in to his backhand as he's poke checked by Ottinger. Loose puck behind the net. Plays to open ice. Does Evans? Can Newpower get there? Yes, he can. He saves it. Plays it deep off Evans' stick. And then Kinsalo drives blue line to blue line. And here comes Bowers trying to get a shorthanded bid, but stripped right off the puck by Freeman of UConn, and now Newpower controls for the Huskies. 4:48 to go in the third. 2-1 Terriers, a minute gone in the UConn power play. Newpower behind his own net. Leaves it off for Philip Nyberg, who's played well the last few games. Now it's Konalik to Payusov, knocked off the puck. Now a blue line to blue line pass eludes Amonte as the puck goes deep. Nyberg to his backhand, leaves it for Roman Canal. Canal to Konalik, rumbles out of his own zone in front of the bench boards, crosses center and dumps it deep. Ottinger stops it behind his own cage. Now crashing in, good forecheck by Payusov. Elmire comes up with a loose puck. Now Konalik wedges it on the backboards along with Payusov. Plays it back. Oh, hit a bad board, and it comes out, and here come the Terriers. Amonte. Puck comes off the face mask of Farabee as he, and now a loose puck on a centering pass. Deflected. Nyberg up with it for UConn. Gets it out to Konalik. Konalik crosses center. Down the left side, cuts to the middle, waits, looks for reinforcements, plays it off the glass, rips it around, gets by Chris. Payusov behind the net. Penalty time is up. Now is Zakhoff up with it. Goal line extended. Waits, holds, rolls off his stick. In there is Farabee, and the Terriers come up with a loose puck. Now it is bunted by Karashek right in front of the penalty box boards, out to center ice. Karashek plays it right back off the reverberation of BU. Played back deep. 3.5 to go. 3:20 to go in the third. 2-1 Huskies. Deflected in by the Terriers. They'll change up. Karashek controls. Poke check. Gets it back. Now with the help of Newpower. Plays it back to the line. Not out. Harper the keeping. Now here's a wrister right on. And a loose puck as Corsia with a decent look. And then some more pushing and shoving behind the UConn net as 3 Terriers and 3 Huskies get bottled up with the defensemen. Stay right where they are, and with 3:09 to go, Adam is heading down to the locker room. Adam, get whoever you want. Terriers have picked up the pace here in the third period. Shots are 26-19 Connecticut. 3:09 to go in the third. The Terriers trying to avoid a 6th straight loss. The Huskies trying to get a 3rd straight win. Drew will update the scoreboard when we're done in the post-game show. Curry on the face-off against Freeman. Face-off won by Freeman. Off the Zamboni boards, Regali will just play it out to center ice where Robbins will give chase, but Dante Fabro controls for the Terriers, gives it to Ferentz. Back to Fabro. Fabro comes up the right side for BU, right in front of the UConn bench, just dumps it deep on the dump and chase. First to get it is Nyberg. Fans on his rip around the boards. Now wedged out. Curry up with it. Looks to center, goes off the linesman. Loose puck, Regali gives chase. Kept in by Ferentz. Now Miles Jenner, who's backing off the misconduct, goes blue line to blue line, and here comes Robbins down the right side. Trailer Konalik, wrister blocked out in front. And up with it is Curry, but that one hurts. As heading to the bench is Farabee, hit his hand, maybe wrist, and he took his glove off, and he's holding that wrist. Now it's Jenren, plays it behind the UConn net. Here's Bowers up with it for BU. Plays it back for Curry. Wedge it out for a centering pass, but first to get it there for the Huskies is Newpower. Plays it up the boards, and it's wedged out the center as Elmire gets clipped by Chris, but Elmire stays with it. Carl into the BU zone. Lost control of it. Now taps it back, gloves it down, keeps possession near side wall. Cockrell tips it away, and here come the Terriers back the other way as the rink-wide feed to Bowers eludes him, and Chris back to get at his zone line with 2 minutes to go in the third. UConn 2-1. It's a nervous 2-1. Here come the Terriers. Here's Cockrell. Leaves it for Harper. Harper, the goal scorer. Wedged off the puck. Up with it is Cale Howarth. Goes to his backhand. Zakhoff clears and gets it out to Coulter. Coulter puts on the brakes. Leaves it for Zakhoff. finds Howarth between the circles, wrister deflected, loose puck, another save by Ottinger, and he'll hold for the faceoff. Kel Howarth had a chance to put this one away. His initial wrister off the shoulder of Ottinger. Howarth went for the rebound. Ottinger dove and made the save. Actually, Harper got a deflection before the initial shot by Ottinger, and then Howarth went pouncing in for the rebound. But Big Jake at 6'5", not that Howarth's any small guy, he's 6'4", comes up with a big stop. And with 1:33 to go, the Terriers will take a timeout. Reminder that UConn Hockey is brought to you by Moe's, where you can download the Moe's app and enter UConn 18 for your chance to win a year of free burritos. We've got basketball action for you on Sunday from Orlando, CFE Arena. Our fourth-ranked UConn women will take on the UCF Knights, game 2 of the year between the two teams. Debbie will join me for the broadcast at 1:30 on the network. While we have a minute, Drew Casey, you can turn the mic on. Do we have a final yet on the baseball team yet? At
Got a final score, guys. 3-2. The final in that one, the pinch hit 8th inning home run wins it for the Huskies. 20th ranked team in the country coming in. They beat the 4th ranked team in the land, the Louisville Cardinals. That pinch hit homer coming from Paul Gazzo. Good win for the Huskies to start it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Drew. Paul Gazzo was a terrific catcher at Sheen and Wallingford. His brother, shortstop for Tulane. They were a great combination. I was so impressed with Paul when he was a catcher junior at Sheen when they won the state championship, the Class M title that year. Decided to transfer after he was at Tulane for a year, and he made a big impact on opening night. I'm going to see them tomorrow. Get off the plane about 11 a.m. Going to go check into the hotel and then drive down to Lakeland and watch Game 2 tomorrow at 3 between the Huskies and the Cardinals. Great win for Jimmy Penders and the group. That's not a sleeping giant, folks. That's a pretty good baseball program, what Jimmy Penders does year in and year out. All right, face-off to the right of Ottinger. Jakob Konalik neutralized by Amante, who's been pretty good on the draws. Looped out to center ice, where Gendron grabs it and rumps it right back in with 1:25 to go. Pius off on the forecheck. Here's Ferentz for the Terriers. David Ferentz outlets to the blue line. One-touch pass, and here comes Cockrell. Rumbling down the left side. Wrister right on. Stick save. Loose puck. Puck trickles back out to the point. Ottinger heads to the bench for the 6th attacker. Now Chris up with it left side. Rink-wide feed. One-timer score! Curry bangs it in from just underneath the face-off dot on the right side, and we're facing overtime with 1:05 to go. Just a wicked one-timer by Patrick Curry, his 11th of the year. And with 1:05 left to go in the third, the game tied at 2 as the Terriers come back from 2-0 down to tie the game. Curry, a one-time drive, his 11th goal of the season. Past the glove of Omajka. And the Terriers with a big comeback. They have not won a game after trailing after 2 all season. Now the puck in the BU zone. Bowers plays it off the stick of Evans with 50 seconds to go. Now it's Cot Consalo, gets away from Evans. Outlet pass. Here come the Terriers. Bowers. Shane Bowers up the left side. Centering pass off a skate. Zakov controls. Fans on his clear. Evans up with it. Lost it. Now the help of Canal. Now gets it to Evans, and he'll flip it down the ice towards net. So Ottinger, who went right through the crease, but they call icing. Interesting. So Curry the goal. Chris should get one of the assists at 18:55. 6th attacker goal technically. And the Terriers tie the game. So 30 seconds to go. Boy, this would be a deflating effort tonight for the Huskies if the Terriers were somehow to come out of here with a win. Karashek off the faceoff win, played out to center ice. 25 seconds to go. Shots are 26-22. Favor of UConn. Chris circles in his own zone. Outlet pass out to center ice. Here is Clunan. Skates in, dumps it deep, plays it to the backboards. Now Amante up with it. Wedged off the puck by Newpower. Amante gets a stick on it. Now it's Clunan. 3 seconds to go, 2 seconds to go. Turns, fires it, deflected, and we're going to go to overtime. So the BU Terriers come back from a 2-0 deficit to start the third and will play bonus hockey here tonight in Hartford. 2-2 headed to overtime. Back in a minute. Presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn Hockey from Learfield, IMG College.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
It's impossible. You can't fly in a metal tube through the sky or put a rover on Mars. Fact is, everything's impossible until it isn't. At UConn Health, we believe in the power of possible. We've seen what it can do for patients, for medicine. Our job isn't just to make you better. Our job is to make medicine better and create the possibilities that others will use years from now. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
UConn Hockey is presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott. With Brown, Penderas, and Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm.
So for the 5th time this season, UConn will play overtime. They're 1-1-2. For the Terriers, this is their 7th overtime game of the season. They're 2-1-3. Their last overtime win was against New Hampshire. Unlike their last overtime game that lasted just 30 seconds when they lost to Northeastern. So a terrific comeback by the Terriers to force overtime against UConn. That Curry one-timer, Vomajka has no chance. Chris was at the top of the left circle. He went to the right face-off dot. Curry one-timed it and he roofed it. The water bottle went flying. Give credit to the Terriers. A terrific comeback. So we're either going to have a 2-2 tie or a 3-2 win by someone over the next 5 minutes. Huskies will have Connolly, Piusoff, and Elmire to start the third. For the Terriers, it'll be their top line of Cockrell, Harper, and Bowers. Bowers wins the faceoff. Controlled by Farabee. Rips it around the boards. UConn will go from left to right here in the third. They play it out the center ice. And Ferentz controls for the Terriers. Plays it off the boards. Bowers gets checked by Newpower. The trailer is Cockrell. Newpower steals it and gets it off the Connolly. Down the right side. Here's Piusoff. Cross-ice feed. Wrister. Shoulder save is Gendron out of the box after his 10-minute misconduct with a wrister. Kept in by Elmire. Wrestling with it. Bowers wrestles the puck away from him. Comes up the right side for the Terriers. One-on-one with Miles Gendron, who gets a stick on it and then steals it and comes around the boards and plays it to his backhand of the line and out. Here's Piusoff. Leaves it for Connolly. Down the right side. Connolly cuts the middle. Keeps the puck. Trailer Elmire. Wrister. Save. Rebound. Score! Piusoff pounces on the loose puck. 51 seconds into overtime. Bring out the Zamboni. This one belongs to the Huskies. Sasha Piusoff off the wrister by Carl Elmire was at the side of the net and pounced on the rebound. And 51 seconds in, it's a third straight win for the Huskies. What an effort. Connolly right to left, eluded a check, back pass to Elmire, who wristed it off the shoulder of Ottinger, and Sasha Piusoff slam dunked it in to an open net on the far side post, and the Huskies win their second straight overtime game. And ironically, the same guy who won it against Northeastern beats BU. Ottinger lost it, and Piusoff dunked in the rebound. And the Huskies win it 3-2. Two teams will go at it again tomorrow night up at Agganis Arena. 5th straight game. We've had a one-goal affair between the Huskies and the Terriers. And almost a day to a year that UConn beat BU here in Hartford in overtime. Post-game should be fun. Huskies 3, Terriers 2. We'll have that post-game show in a minute. You're listening to UConn Hockey, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott from Learfield, IMG College.
Big Y World Class Market is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of UConn men's hockey. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, stop by your local Big Y for it all. Check out the Wing Bar for fresh, ready-to-eat wings and all your favorite flavors. Or grab a Super Bird rotisserie chicken, the biggest rotisserie chicken in the universe. Grinders, party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. It all begins with a stop at your local Big Y World Class Market.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
I get it. Your desk has been there for you, holding up your computer, your unused stapler, and that plant you forgot to water. But maybe it's time to leave your desk and spend your lunch break volunteering with Meals on Wheels.
Doing Meals on Wheels for me is the joy that I look for at the end of my week. I'll come to the door with one meal and I'll walk away with a full heart.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org. That's americaletsdolunch.org. Brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Well, how about them hockey Huskies? 3-2 overtime win. Sasha Payasov, the game winner, as we're back at our Big Y broadcast location here at the XL Center. Game one of the home and home to UConn. They've won 3 in a row. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow night at Agganis Arena. Adam Giardino downstairs, and I'm sure it is an energetic UConn locker room coming off their second straight overtime win. But it was a different effort the way to overtime than we saw against Northeastern a little over a week ago. Here are the highlights. First period, and it became a trend. The Terriers getting themselves in a penalty trouble. Not foul trouble, penalty trouble. Logan Cockrell, then Diamante with a holding penalty at 6:35, and UConn wasted little time to get on the board with the help of Carl Elmire. Gives it off to Kondelik. He skates to the right point. Now towards the top of the slot. One-timer rink wide to Nyberg. That got blocked out in front. Elmire up with a loose puck. Gendron back to Nyberg. Deflected in! Elmire at the top of the crease. Gives the Huskies the 1-0 lead. Nyberg and Gendron on the assist for UConn. Their 19th power play goal of the season. But the Huskies weren't done yet. Zach Robbins took an interference penalty at the 15:54 mark of the period. Let me make sure I have that right. Robbins at 13:54. I'm sorry, not 15, because I would have said that would have been a shorthanded goal otherwise. But the Huskies were able to kill that off, and then the hard work of the line of Coulter, Izakov, and Evans allowed Wyatt Newpower to give UConn a 2-0 lead. Gets a second chance. Now here comes Evans with Izakov. Gives to Izakov. Izakov eludes. Back to the point. Newpower has room. Wrister score! Wyatt Newpower with a wrister over the glove side of Ottinger. Thanks to the good work of Coulter, Evans, and Izakov, and with 2:09 to go in the first, the Huskies double the lead to 2-0. Newpower's third, 17:51. Izakov and Evans on the assist. UConn outshot BU in that first period, 13-5. It was a checking second period, tight checking second period that saw numerous penalties on both sides. That was ultimately ended up with Farabee, Payasov, Elmire, and Curry. I'm sorry, Farabee, Payasov, Elmire, and taking diving penalties, 10-minute misconducts, and hitting after the whistle. Hit 19:30. Shots on goal were 6-5 BU in the second period, but we went to the third, 2-0 Huskies, who after 2 periods this year had a 6-2-1 record. The Terriers had not won a game all year. They were 0-12-2 when trailing after 2. Third period, Miles Gendron took a hooking penalty, then took a 10-minute misconduct, 3:03 into the third. halfway through the period after Bowers took a hooking penalty for the Terriers that was killed off. Patrick Harper, or actually we were playing 4-on-4 because Nyberg took a hit to the head at 8:58. Bowers took a hook at 9:12. So 4-on-4 hockey. Terriers were able to cycle the puck, and Patrick Harper got the Terriers on the board with a nice stuff play here. Dante Fabro up with it for the Terriers. Drop pass for Patrick Harper. Harper holds, top of the slot, keeps going towards the left circle. Walks in, skates behind the net. Stop play, scores! Vomajka couldn't get the skate to the near side post, and Patrick Harper with the stuff play. And hold on to your hats. 9:18 to go in the third. Terriers are on the board for Patrick Harper, his third of the season. Fabro and Ferentz on the assists, and they would also assist on the tying goal. BU called a late timeout. They were on the verge of pulling the sixth attacker. With 1:05 to go, Fabro found Curry, Patrick Curry, for the game-tying goal here. Ottinger heads to the bench for the sixth attacker. Now Chris up with it left side. Rink-wide feed. One-timer score! Curry bangs it in from just underneath the face-off dot on the right side, and we're facing overtime with 1:05 to go. Sixth attacker goal for Curry, his 11th of the season, and we were headed to overtime for the second time in 3 nights here at the XL Center, where overtime lasted just 51 seconds, where the top line of Jakob Konalik, Carl Elmir, and Sasha Pyasov combine for the game-winning goal. Here's Pyasov. Leaves it for Konalik. Down the right side. Konalik cuts the middle. Keeps the puck. Trailer Elmir. Wrister. Save. Rebound. Score! Pyasov pounces on the loose puck. 51 seconds into overtime. Bring out the Zamboni. This one belongs to the Huskies. Sasha Pyasov off the wrister by Carl Elmir was at the side of the net and pounced on the rebound. And 51 seconds in, it's a third straight win for the Huskies. Second time in 3 games, Sasha Pyasov, the game-winning goal, and it's the second time in 3 games where the Huskies waste little time. The game-winning goal against Northeastern was at 1:05. The game winner tonight, 51 seconds into overtime, as UConn beats BU 3-2 tonight here at the XL Center. We'll hear from Adam in the UConn locker room. I bet it's a little zany in there when the post-game show continues. In a minute, this is UConn Hockey, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott from Learfield IMG College.
With 5 locations in central Connecticut, the law firm of Brown, Penderis & Scott has served the legal needs of individuals in their growing businesses since 1977, providing legal services for family, criminal, business, personal injury, probate, elder law, and more. With Brown, Penderis & Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. That's bpslawyers.com. Nick Penderis approved the content of this message.
This is Gino Auriemma, and this is Holding Court. Today's guest, Sir Charles Barkley.
It's a boring game. There's a good chance I'm going to be dying off.
Sue Bird and Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie with the beard or Kyrie without the beard? Kyrie with the beard is like 33.
Dude, stop.
Tiger Woods. We haven't talked about the $800 you owe me.
I know. I see it. It's yours.
Catch all the episodes by searching Holding Court with Gino Auriemma on iTunes. And follow us on Twitter at Gino Podcast.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Guide dog partners bring greater freedom, confidence, and mobility. They are trusted friends that offer new opportunities for social interaction and greater independence. Guide Dogs of America is a nonprofit organization that provides these loyal and loving dogs free of charge to people who are blind or visually impaired. To learn more about Guide Dogs of America, visit our website at guidedogsofamerica.org or call us at 800-459-4843.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield IMG College. The announcers are provided by Learfield IMG College and approved by the University of Connecticut.
3 stars picked locally here tonight. Wyatt Newpower, the 3rd star for the Huskies. Solid defense all night and his 3rd goal of the season. Patrick Curry, who tied the game with 1:05 left, takes the number 2 star. And guess who's the number 1 star for the 2nd time in 3 games? Yep, that guy who won in overtime. Sasha Pyasov standing by with Adam.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, we're down here with Sasha Pyasov, the game winner in overtime. Just take us through that goal, what went down, and what happened to get the win.
It was a good play. Condi carried the puck. He passed it to Carl, and then Carl shot the puck, and it was right there. I got the easy part, just sticking it in.
3rd straight win for the team, and you guys are really hitting your stride. What does it mean to be hitting your stride at this part of the season?
I think even when we've been losing the last few games, we played a good hockey game. So we just stayed with it. We didn't get down on ourselves, and it's proven to work.
When you give up that goal to tie it at 2-2, and then you go into overtime, what's that quick message Coach Cav had? Just a minute to really get you guys regrouped, ready to go. What was his message there?
It's just keep playing like we played. We forget the last few minutes when they scored, and keep playing the same game because it works. And we went out there and we showed a lot of character.
What does this kind of crowd mean for you? The last few home games, it feels like the crowd's just been getting bigger and louder. I mean, this place was rocking tonight.
It's amazing. Credit to them. It's unbelievable playing with this big crowd. I don't know how much it was today, but it was, again, almost sellout. It was amazing.
And finally, leading into tomorrow, you've got these guys again tomorrow night. So what has to happen to pull out a win on the road?
Yeah. We enjoyed tonight, and then we get our stuff done today. We stretch, and we're right back at it tomorrow. So, another big game tomorrow. We need the win.
All right, go in there and celebrate with the guys.
Thank you.
All right, Sasha Pyasov, our guest. Bob, back up to you.
All right, Adam, thanks. Great job as always. Adam will be solo with you tomorrow night. Pregame at 6:45 from Agganis Arena. Christy Antonio will engineer as Adam's enjoying his Cliff Bar now. Huskies win. A terrific effort. And, look, there's still life for this team, and they have treated it like that way. They've got a nice one over Northeastern. It lit the fire, and now they're just trying to make the best they can do down the stretch here for this team. There's no guarantee they're going to make a playoff this year. They need some help. They also need to pretty much win out. They've got 5 games left, maybe 4-1, but 5-0 would take them a long way. But it's one game at a time. That's what Mike Cavanaugh has said all season long, and that's all they can do. And with BU, you're going to get a 1-goal game. That's 5 straight 1-goal games now between these two teams. And Game 2 tomorrow night at Agganis Arena won't be any easier as the Huskies send BU to their 6th consecutive loss as UConn wins it in overtime by the final score of 3-2. Good news on the baseball front. Drew Casey will tell you all about that. I will talk to you on Sunday, 1:30 from Orlando, when the women take on the UCF Knights. So we'll talk to you then, 6:45 for Adam tomorrow night as UConn and BU play the back end of their home-and-home series. Drew Casey with the happy scoreboard. And there should be some good news all around when he comes back. Thanks for tuning in from the XL Center tonight. Drew wraps up the broadcast. In a minute, you're listening to UConn Hockey presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott from Learfield IMG College.
For Springfield, Massachusetts, August was a game changer. MGM Springfield has arrived. It's the latest entertainment destination from MGM Resorts International. It's also setting the stage for an epic comeback for downtown Springfield and the entire region. Working hand in hand with the local community, MGM Springfield is breathing new life into the city and has built beautiful new places to work, experience, and play. Dining, retail, and so much more is here. Experience the next chapter in Springfield's history at MGM Springfield. The Renaissance starts here.
We'll be back after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet.
Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Off. Leaves it for Connolly. Down the right side. Connolly cuts the middle. Keeps the puck. Trailer Elmire. Wrister. Save. Rebound. Score! Payusov pounces on the loose puck. 51 seconds into overtime. Bring out the Zamboni. This one belongs to the Huskies. Sasha Payusov off the wrister by Carl Elmire was at the side of the net and pounced on the rebound. And 51 seconds in, it's a third straight win for the Huskies.
Well, that was fun. Drew Casey inside the network studio. The story told there by Bob Joyce with the final call as the Huskies win it 3-2 in overtime over Boston University. Sasha Payusov, another XL Center game winner in OT. The Huskies have won 3 consecutive games. The Ice Bus is heating up and looking for a late season push. As we take a look up what's next for the Hockey Huskies, the back end of this home and home with BU. In fact, coming up tomorrow night at Agganis Arena in Boston, it'll be a 7 o'clock opening face-off. We've got the pregame for you at 6:45 right here on the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Hope you'll join us coming up tomorrow. That's our look ahead for the Hockey Huskies, brought to you by MGM Resorts. MGM Springfield is going to be your go-to destination for all your post-game celebrations. MGM invites fans to keep the fun going by checking out all the entertainment MGM Resorts has to offer by visiting mgmspringfield.com. One final check of the scoreboard tonight. Everything in the books across the rest of Hockey East on this Friday. Second-ranked UMass holds off Boston College by the skin of their teeth. 4-3 the final. Jake McLaughlin, the game winner with just 2 seconds left in regulation.
It's in the Eagle zone. Moore under pressure behind, trying to hold it deep. UMass gets the handle. It's McCarr at the right point. Takes the shot. Save made by Wall. Rebound is down. Where is it? Wall is out. And the pass behind in front. Score! Chafee dug it off the back wall. Finds Jake McLaughlin in front to deal Boston College a heartbreaking loss. 2.3 seconds remain, and the Minutemen take a 4-3 lead.
Excitement all across Hockey East tonight. John Risch with the call from Learfield IMG College again as UMass wins it late with 2.3 left on the clock. They hang on for those final few ticks. 4-3 the final as UMass beats Boston College. Other finals for you: 14th ranked Northeastern 4-1 winners over Vermont. Number 13 Providence blew out 10th ranked UMass Lowell 6-1. The final in that one, the Riverhawks were second in the standings entering the night in Hockey East. And the last game in the league, Maine, they come back to skate to a 3-3 tie on the road at Merrimack, so the Huskies only pick up 1 point in their quest for a playoff spot late here. 5 games left. They'll probably need 5 wins or at least 4 and a little bit of help down the stretch to get into that top 8. Speaking of the Huskies on the UConn scoreboard, 20th ranked UConn baseball. Yes, college baseball is here. Opening day today. Down in Florida, the Huskies facing off with number 4 Louisville, and they win it by a final of 3-2 on a big-time pinch hit. What would be the game-winning home run in the 8th inning. Paul Gazzo homering to left field off the bench. 3-2 Huskies. They'll do it again tomorrow and Sunday. A 3-game set with the Cardinals. That's a look at the scoreboard, and with that, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Exciting night of action for you on the UConn Sports Network. Our next broadcast here on the network is tomorrow. It's UConn Hockey and BU as mentioned. 7 o'clock opening face-off. This one, though, from Boston. Pre-game coverage beginning at 6:45. Then on Sunday, it's UConn women's basketball on the road in Orlando at UCF. 2 o'clock jump with a 1:30 pregame for you here on the network. Hope you can join us for our continuing coverage of UConn Huskies athletics. And thanks for stopping by tonight for our coverage of UConn men's ice hockey and taking some time out of your Friday evening to join us on the radio. Once again, the final tonight, UConn ice hockey. UConn 3, BU 2 in overtime. Sasha Payusav, the hero. That's the final score from downtown Hartford. Now for Bob Joyce and Adam Giardino, I'm Drew Casey saying so long from the network studios. Same place, same time tomorrow. Let's make plans to chat then. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to University of Connecticut Hockey on the UConn Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Today's game has been sponsored by Brown, Painderis & Scott. With Brown, Painderis & Scott, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Big Y World-Class Market. It's no big surprise. It's my Big Y. The Change the Script statewide opioid awareness campaign. Middlesex Health. Duncan. America runs on Duncan. Lippincott Van Lines. The definition of moving excellence. Town Fair Tire. Name brands at discount prices. UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. And by MGM Resorts International. Book your next escape now at mgmresorts.com. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation of the UConn Sports Network.